Click the wrong stuff. Click the wrong stuff. I accidentally sent a link to the YouTube channel, not the actual live stream. That's fine. Whatever. Whatever works. Whatever directs people towards me. I don't care. What's going on, everybody? Oh, Iridian's here. Sorry, guys. Later. Just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just JK. It's joke. Oh, anime sucks right now. I don't even want to stream right now. I just want to crawl up in bed and just go to sleep. And hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow and everything's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up to the world where everything is torrented. Nobody cares. You go to your website that has your favorite fan subbers and you download the shows you want via torrent, or no, we'll go back to Napster or something. And everything's perfectly fine. I'm so tired. I'm legit so tired because like this last week has been I mean, honestly, the last month has been hectic. Anyways, Iridian, what's up, man? King Aaron, Monty F, what's going on? Luis, what's going on? Like, everybody's saying that they just suddenly popped in here and they seen my stream, as if they're not waiting for my stream every week. I'm heartbroken. I'm literally heartbroken. What can be better than watching a stream at 3:30 a.m. because I'm on it? That makes it better. CNBC News story said something about NBC eyeing AMC. I don't know that's much of a change. I guess that's... We'll get into it. We'll get into it. JC Meister, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. YouTube recommended streams and premieres when I get close to the start. Good. At least I'm not being like ghosted. I think somebody said that they weren't seeing my notifications, which sucks. I don't want to get in that point. Who else? John Knight, what's up? Sabanasu Cheto, what's going on? Time to get depressed. I hope I like to bring positive to something, and I'm sure there's a positive lining somewhere in here. It can't just be an hour stream. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might switch over to Genshin Impact just to watch waifus for a little bit. Duhalt, what's up? Tired every day. It's like, welcome to Andrew. Welcome to my world. Yes, the world where everybody just pirates everything. I don't know. It would probably be I don't know. There was a lot of fan subbers back then, but there wasn't as many fan subbers. That's the thing. It's like, I hear people say this a lot, that we should go back to just full-on piracy. But take into consideration, like, back when we used to actually do a lot of that stuff, where there was a lot of fan subbing communities, nothing was licensed in the West except for, like, Pokemon. There wasn't that many shows. There was, like, I don't know, maybe 5 shows a season. And so it was easily covered by a few fan subgroups. But now with like 30, I don't think there's enough people out there that would want to give their time to fan sub all of this stuff. Granted, it's much easier these days for those people to monetize that, because they can easily throw a bunch of ads on their website where they host the actual links to the torrents, and they just don't do magnetized torrents. I don't know. You get notifications? Okay. At least I'm not that bad. What's up, Bobo? First time? Nice. Welcome to the stream. First time you managed to catch. I thought I've seen you on a stream before. Maybe I'm crazy. Jay Creel, what's going on? Fleetwood Mac member Christine movie has died at the age of 79. Oof. There's a lot of people croaking right now. I don't want to hear about it. This stream's going to be depressing enough as it is. We don't need any more depressing news in here. Genghis, what's going on? Genghis caught it. My gosh, dude. Isekai Uncle's just too good. It's just too good. I got a huge kick out of that old man. I don't know why. The old 90s teacher from Japan is just too funny. Just see you on my YouTube homepage when the stream's about to start. Nice. You wouldn't have One Piece film red dub if everyone pirated. I mean, it'd still be in Japan, unless there's a statistic that I don't know about that says that One Piece is failing in Japan, which I'm pretty sure it's a hot ticket item in Japan. It's gonna be made one way or another. Now, as much budget, maybe? That's the question mark. Andrew's tired. No. When? Possibly a while back. Wouldn't have anime films in theaters if anime wasn't profitable. Right. It's super profitable. No doubt about that. Watch the new dub episodes of One Piece, and I'm getting closer to the Wano arc. One of these days, I will watch One Piece. It's just like when. It's just when. There would be no dubs if everyone pirated. Yeah. Because, I mean, well, let me be perfectly clear. I'm not saying, like, I want to go to a period of time where anime is licensed in the West, but we're pirating instead. What I mean is back in the day when literally nothing got licensed in the West, there was no availability here, so we had to make it ourselves. You know, old days of VHS dubbing in somebody's office, or, again, the torrent ages where people slapped subtitles on stuff and torrented it. Just want to say I have decided that I'm going to watch Slow Loop, since you mentioned in your comment about the other day and talked about it series before. Slow Loop is super good. It needs a second season so bad. It is so good. If you like Bocchi the Rock, it's not quite Bocchi the Rock at all, because it's not really about an introvert. It is somebody that's closed off, though. So the main girl of Slow Loop is sort of like Bocchi. She's kind of just closed off. She doesn't have like crippling introvert, but because she talks to people, but she doesn't go out of her way for it. But yes, like I've mentioned before, there is a cameo Bocchi the Rock in Slow Loop. Was it episode 10, I think? Which was cool because we noticed it early on, and I don't think anybody noticed that they had their shirts on in Slow Loop. They already had their matching t-shirts in that scene, which is kind of funny. Would normally watching all the winter previews. I've been spending all day trying to buy both digital and printed copies of Bookworm Volume 5. Nice. They'll let me buy it now, but I'm going to get there soon. Yeah, it's back there. I will read it. I will read it eventually. I'm super pumped to read Ascendance of Bookworm, but I gotta finish Mashiko first. Seems like a good series. Just take a while to get around to it. Like I said, it needs a second season because they did a pretty good job of really getting into the main girl, but the sister they haven't quite gotten into yet, and I think that stuff's going to be super painful, but I'm going to enjoy it. Is it true the companies are taking anime out of Crunchyroll? If so, that's bad, right? Companies are taking anime out of Crunchyroll. You'd have to cite me a report on it. I've not heard anything about that. The only real pulls they've seen in Crunchyroll is mainly due to breakups of partnerships. Like when Sony bought Crunchyroll, the partnership between Crunchyroll and Sentai Filmworks died, so they pretty much pulled all their catalog out of their site. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So if you're talking about the Disney video that I just made this morning, essentially what it is that because Disney now has a partnership with Kodansha, there is a chance, this isn't 100% here, there's a chance that they won't renew licenses, basically. So when Attack on Titan, say, for example, when Attack on Titan's license period expires, they have the rights to it right now. But every license has an expiration date. Typically, when they reach that expiration date, they can up it. So we want to keep it. So let's not drop the license. And then the company will go, okay, give us this much money again. And they go, okay, here's the money. And so you never see anything change. You don't even know about it. You go to the site and it's there. This isn't 100%. So keep it with a grain of salt here. There is a chance now that Disney has a partnership with Kodansha. They probably told him at some point, hey, The next Attack on Titan, final part 3, final season part 3, there's a good chance that that's locked in for Disney because they have that partnership. Now, Crunchyroll can have a pre-established contract for Attack on Titan final season part 3, so that might not actually happen. But what I meant by that whole situation is that as those licenses expire that are currently on Crunchyroll's site, they might not be able to re-up them because Kodansha might want to give them to Disney. They don't have to, but that might be part of the agreement there. So, all we know for sure is that there's going forward, there's going to be a lot of titles they're going to be producing and being exclusive on Disney. And I think that part of that is that they're going to be funding a lot of that as part of that agreement. So, that's hopefully that answered your question. I mean, Danmachi, Gate, and many other aren't anymore. Yeah, because I don't think they re-upped any of those. And then I think most of the Danmachis were Sentai Filmworks, and Sentai Filmworks has the new season of Danmachi, so that makes sense. They also have Gate. So yeah, Danmachi, Gate, those are both Sentai Filmworks shows. So once the partnership with Crunchyroll and Sentai Filmworks died after Sony bought Crunchyroll, they were pulled. So that's the answer to those ones specifically. It just depends on who has a license. But yeah. Today marks the 20th anniversary of Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Really? Do I still have that? Hold on a second. This will be cool. Please tell me I have it. Actually. I don't think it's easy access. Oh no, it's up there. I am not climbing up there to get it. I have a Japanese copy of Budokai, and it's up in a container. I'm as much as I love showing off stuff on the stream, I'm not gonna climb up there and get that. Maybe next stream. I really like it though. I think it's up there. But that's cool. That's cool. I really liked Budokai. I missed where we're at. Spire licenses could be bought back by another distributor, perhaps. Yes, that's correct. I'm honestly really worried about dubs. Now, I will say it's not typical for other companies to pick them up unless they want to do some sort of distribution. And Sentai Filmworks does it a lot. Discotech does it a lot. If it's a company that wants to do physical distribution of it and they see a value in it and they can get the license cheap enough, they will license old stuff. Something like Crunchyroll, they don't care to because unless it's a show that's going to have another season, they don't want to bother because it's just wasted money. I'm honestly really worried about dubs and properties like Slime. Yeah. There's a good chance Slime... Now, here's the thing about Slime specifically. We're getting into the topic already. Slime... I should have clarified this on the video, so I apologize beforehand. Slime isn't technically owned by Kodansha. Slime is published by a different company, the light novel. The anime is based off the light novel. Now, or it might be based off the manga. But anyways, Kodansha publishes the manga. But Kodansha also produces the anime. The only listing I have for Season 3 currently is Kodansha as a publisher or producer. So it's a good chance that that'll end up on Disney. Or Hulu, depending on where you're at. Sony won't be renewing shows forever. Right. At some point, it's a waste of money. Because most people don't watch old shows, honestly. A chance that shows that aren't... shows that the show from animation could go to Disney. You have to retype that one. I'm not reading it right. I'm dumb. It doesn't get good until the final season part 6. It could totally go 6. Because I think they were saying they wanted to change the ending of Attack on Titan. Because nobody liked it. So they could go 6 parts. Who knows? For everyone, everyone chewing the shows out of Crunchyrolls, is Crunchyroll dead meat in that aspect? No. No, never. Because technically, Crunchyroll is owned by Sony. Sony is owned by Sony Corporation Japan. Sony Corporation Japan owns Aniplex, and Aniplex owns A1 Pictures, and they make a crap ton of anime. A lot of the biggest titles they make. So they get plenty of stuff directly for them. Plus, they're a part of Join, and Join is also collaborating with Cloverworks. So they make some of the biggest titles out there. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, if they're profitable, that's the big question mark. I haven't heard anything on Join since they announced it. I think that was just a show at this point. We're about a year into Join, and we haven't seen anything talked about it. Technically, Cloverworks and A1 Pictures is still doing stuff together, or not. Wit Studios doing stuff together. So yeah, Wit Studios also Sony, if I remember correctly. I was a Tenkaichi girl. Budokai wasn't super fun for me. It wasn't the greatest ever. I just really enjoyed it back in the day. Playing Dragon Ball basically is really what it was about. If Crunchyroll keeps losing stuff, maybe they'll go Netflix road and start self-producing anime in great numbers. Yeah, could be. I don't know if that's too profitable for Netflix so far. That's the big problem. That's the big problem that everybody's kind of facing right now. I mean, that's what we're going to get into with the whole AMC thing. By the way, this is the face of... This is the face of the face of warning that something crappy is about to come when you see this face. Nothing against her. I don't even know who she is, honestly, but she still scares me because I see this picture and I know exactly what this is about. So if there's no dubs, we'll still get Blu-rays. I mean, there's a lot of Blu-rays out there that don't have subtitles or dubs. So yes, technically yes. I mean, when they first released Shirobako, they didn't have a dub. The entire Monogatari series has no dub because they said, nope, we're not doing that. I think Kadokawa eats Kodansha's for breakfast. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. But Kodansha has, like, some of the biggest shonens, but they're not anywhere near Kadokawa, I believe. Well, they tried Crunchyroll Originals. That didn't go well. We don't talk about Crunchyroll Originals. They just need to pick good titles to actually pay into. That's the problem. I mean, Tower God and God of High School or whatever it was, they could have been good. They didn't work out. Crunchyroll has a whole quality over quantity, where they're keeping big name titles that are given to them, giving them traction. And that's what I kind of mentioned in my video. I mean, as much as I wanted High Dive to compete against Crunchyroll, their biggest problem they had is they never had the big shonens. Crunchyroll, by being a part of Funimation, they have One Piece, Dragon Ball, Naruto. They almost got Bleach again. They failed. So they have all the big ones that everybody subs to. Crunchyroll's original dead. Not really. I think they're still producing stuff. They're not full producers, but they're producing stuff in committees. Why did they bother announcing their conclusion of them? Did they announce the conclusion of the originals? I don't remember that. Kadokawa profits jumping 1,000% because of Elden Ring. Really? Were they a part of Elden Ring? Really? I didn't know there was a connection. Do you imagine hearing dubs in that manner in Monogatari? No. When Monogatari series is one of those ones where I wanted to have a dub because I know there's a lot of people that didn't want to watch it because they didn't have a dub. But it's one of those ones when I watched it, I'm like, there's no way they can keep up with this. There's so much dialogue. Those I would just hope that those voice actors got plenty rest and they didn't take, kill them with how much work they would be giving them. It's a lot of dialogue. That whole show is talking. It's talking the anime. What do you mean Tower of God was the only one that was good? I didn't say it was good. It's just... Yeah, I didn't say it was good. I struggle with that show a lot. Are you saying that it was the only one that good? I've heard that a lot of people enjoy Tower of God, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Adrian, welcome. Pretty sure voice actors don't get paid enough to tip Monogatari. That's what I mean. They'd have to be paid. I mean, they would be like only do one episode per week, and then they get to rest. Yes, Kadokawa owns FromSoft. Really? Interesting. I need to look into that. That's actually That's actually fascinating. Technically, Tonakawa Fly Me to the Moon is an original Crunchyroll. Yeah, and that's that whole weird thing, is they call them Crunchyroll originals, and it was like, well, what do you mean by that? When I hear an original, I think that it's something that was completely produced by them. But all it really means is that we put money into it. They're not like the sole production committee or anything like that. It's just a weird title. It just means they put money into it. It's really all it means. Donya that said, I love the manhwas. Karakawa is going to have FromSoft be making a licensed anime games. That would be great. If I can get like an Elden Ring style like Claymore. Oh my god. What who owns Claymore? If Karakawa owns Claymore the manga, I want an anime Claymore. That would be so sick. And it would work perfect with Elden Ring's engine. You just, instead of looking for, you know, people to kill in that world, like the dungeons and stuff, you're just looking for targets. Oh, that would be so sick. I freaking want it now. I so badly want that now. That would be sick. That would be so sick. I would buy that like crazy. Yeah, that would have to be pay per word for sure. New season of Bofuri will be Disney Plus then. And yeah, unless there's a pre-established contract for Bofuri. Sometimes sequels, they pretty much lock them in. Sometimes in the contract, they'll lock in sequels. From what I understand. This is a lot of stuff that's just kind of secondhand information from some people. But that's my understanding. I don't know, but Claymore, Dark Souls, right? They haven't seen somebody use Zom in over a decade. Right? Zomg. Rafflemao and stuff. I need an anime about Elden Ring Frenzied Flame ending. That would be interesting. I think an Elden Ring anime would just be, in general, just make it obscure as possible. Don't make it even comprehensible. Just make the most obscure anime ever. And just have some really good visual shots. And just every now and then you'll have a tooltip that has information about the story lore that will pop up for a split second. There's a game heavily inspired by Claymore. It's a hack and slash called Solstice. I'm not sure if I've heard of that one. Good for you. Got to keep the flame going. Keep Zong alive. But no, anyways, to the topic here. Like I said earlier, I think my biggest issue right now that I'm having with this whole shifted thing, just to get some people kind of caught up to date. Of course, we had Sony by Crunchyroll, which is a huge deal. And that was like the biggest, I think, game changer in the field. High Dive being bought up by AMC was never the topic. AMC buying High Dive was interesting because we had speculation that the only reason that AMC was buying High Dive is because just before then, Sony had bought Crunchyroll for a big load of money. And there was a side of me that kind of believed that the only reason that AMC was buying High Dive is because they thought that Sony would then come to them to buy High Dive. And then they can make a bunch of money. But I think based on what they're saying with the whole AMC Networks layoffs happening right now, it almost makes it feel like they were trying to bolster their streaming platform with a huge catalog like High Dive, and they got it for really cheap. And I think the sad thing is now is it apparently didn't keep them afloat. It apparently did not keep them afloat. I actually have this pre-recorded. I have a video I'll release tomorrow morning probably on this, but yeah, Christina Spade, who's the CEO of AMC, is just basically bolting. It doesn't seem like she's being fired or anything. It's just that she's leaving. And that usually means that when you have that happening, plus the fact they're laying off 20% of their workforce, makes you believe that she's jumping ship before it sinks. Getting out of there as fast as possible so that she can get her check, because they're apparently going to give her a big payout when she leaves. Get that check, get out of there, run before it sinks. But the interesting thing is that they said that specifically they're cutting 20% of their workforce, but they're only pointing out that it's because they're not making enough profits on AMC Plus. Nowhere in the press release are they saying anything about High Dive. And I find that's the only thing that sort of has me a little positive. They could be not talking about High Dive because they don't want anybody to see that High Dive is failing too, so that somebody will buy High Dive. If they were to come in here and say, hey, look, AMC's not doing well, we have too many people cutting the cord, and not enough people are going to AMC Plus, so we're not making enough money. So we're going to have to cut our workforce. By the way, High Dive's still doing good. If anybody wants to buy High Dive, High Dive's doing really, really good right now, but we're going to have to cut back our workforce. I have sent emails and messages over to Sentai Filmworks asking them if they're making any statements based on if this affects them at all, because that's my big question mark. So I have two thoughts here. One is they want somebody to buy High Dive just to help them out a little bit, and so they can bank out before this all falls apart. Or two, High Dive might be keeping them afloat. High Dive might be profitable, and AMC would have never bought High Dive if High Dive was not profitable. So AMC probably bought High Dive knowing they're profitable, and it's sort of keeping them afloat at the current time. And that's my only hope, is that they'll downsize AMC and focus on High Dive and just kind of keep steady for the current time until somebody buys them out. AMC has a streaming platform. Yes, AMC Plus, right? there you go. Wait, they have a streaming platform? Exactly. If you want one, like when there are 3 titles. And that's the problem that all these industries did. They all seen how good Netflix was doing, and so every single one of them pulled their content out of Netflix and started doing their own streaming platforms. But the only reason Netflix was ever profitable is because Netflix wasn't producing anything. They were only licensing everybody else's content, and so everybody subbed to them. But now when you kind of transition to saying, okay, well, let's do that ourselves, you can't support a streaming platform with only your basic content that you're producing on the side. It's very difficult, and I think all these companies are realizing that. Let me copy your homework. Right? I'm on tiptoe when TJE Times comes when Japan is on a collapse. Not really, but and I need to depend on the West, and it's over. Yeah, that's the weird thing, is like, this scares me. I've been meaning to make a video on this all stinking week, but this scares me, because what this is basically saying is that, and this is the weirdest thing. Okay, I thought it was like a brand or something, TJG. I'm sorry. Sometimes I literally read people, and sometimes I read people completely wrong. I don't think this is going to go through, but this scares me, because the Japanese industry right now is kind of scared at this idea of this new invoicing system, which basically anybody that's a freelancer will be taxed going forward, and they have to use their real names. That was the big news that everybody had, was that, oh, well, they're going to give VTubers names out in public. The issue here was really the tax. A lot of freelancers, artists, animators that aren't being paid well are now going to have to get taxed on top of it. And in their surveys, they were talking about like 20% of people in the manga industry were afraid they're going to have to go out of business. 20% in their survey. This is in addition to, I think what it was about 20 to 30% of every single industry was facing 60% of freelancers in animation were concerned about the impact. Let's see. 27% of voice actors were afraid they're going to have to go out of business. It's insane. Like, this tax rate. And again, I believe they're going to probably do something about this. If they don't, October next year, expect that we're going to get less anime. That's all I'll say. We're going to have less animators and stuff. They're basically saying they're probably going to draft a separate policy on top of this new tax in order to maybe exempt those that are not getting paid as well. But the fact that they didn't immediately see this and go, yeah, this is kind of bad, does concern me. Which, yes, to the point made earlier, the Western anime industry distribution is a good thing for the anime industry. They're making a lot more money from us. And so if there's any issues over here, that will only affect them. Plus, if there's only one major distributor in the West, like Sony, that means they will get less money there as well. There's a time when people will be fed up and sub to one thing. Correct. I have no doubt. I mean, they're already doing that. Crunchyroll has 10 million subscribers. Was it 10 million? I think it's 10 million. HIDIVE has like, what, 400,000. People are already just subbing to one place. No, barely, only a very small fraction are even subbing to HIDIVE. So it's already happening. There's only 7 billion people in the world, so alternating streaming services is fresh for capitalizing. Yeah, but 7 billion, there's not 7 billion people subscribing. A good portion of those people are either still newborns or too old they don't care. Too old didn't care. Honestly, expect us to pay $300 a month for subs. I mean, okay, I'm different. I have literally like 3 subs, and I cover most all anime. Now, if you do stuff outside of anime, I can't help you. I'm sorry, 8 billion, which a huge portion of that's children or old people that don't care, right? Love Hina mangaka would do something about it in the parliament. And they had a lot of people back in this. Like, a lot of people. They had a former, I think, Sunrise producer. Yeah. Ueda got involved. Maya Okamoto, voice actors, got involved. They got a lot of really good people, and they all went down to the House of Representatives to basically tell them, hey, dude, you guys need to change something, because this ain't good. Out of those 7, 2 maybe don't even have electricity or computers. And that's the other thing. That's the other thing. That was what I was saying whenever people were talking about, like, oh, it was that stupid video I made on that Kickstarter. That Kickstarter for the anime where they said, like, 1/3 of the world's population was watching anime. And I'm like, no. You gotta be on something if you think you're gonna be able to do that. Because there's legit probably, like, again, like you mentioned, a huge portion doesn't have internet, doesn't have any way of getting the content. They might have, like, I don't know, VHS rips on the side street that's like these knockoff versions of Pokemon, but that's kind of like claiming a little bit too much there. But anyways, I want to get HIDIVE, but gotta burn through the disc first. Gotta burn through disc first. But if they don't bought by a mega corporation, not gonna do it either. Which disc are you burning through? Hulu, Disney, HBO Max, $7 with Black Friday. Yeah, that was. Is that still going? Isn't it like $7 a month for an entire year? Oh, disc like your backlog. Okay, I got you. But no, getting back on the topic, like I said, essentially they're cutting 20%. They've only really kind of pointed out as being an issue with AMC itself and not offsetting their cable cutters, but that still does definitely concern me. And then what happened last night with Disney partnering up with Kodansha, it just feels like everything is absolutely shifting. Now, the big thing that I obviously see with this whole thing is who would actually buy HIDIVE. I'd argue nobody. I don't see anybody buying HIDIVE. Crunchyroll wouldn't buy HIDIVE because Sony just wasted a boatload of money to get Crunchyroll. They're not going to spend more money. They've already spent plenty of money to get Crunchyroll. They're not getting HIDIVE. HIDIVE has a market of, like I said, 400,000 subs. It's not a huge win for them if they bought HIDIVE. They don't need HIDIVE's catalog because, again, they don't have any of the big, super, mega licenses, like the big shonens. And they don't care about their backlog because, again, nobody buys a backlog unless it's a big shonen. Yeah, Sony buy right stuff too, yes. Never underestimate Amazon. Amazon's an interesting one. I don't think Amazon would buy them either. I don't know that you're saying that. Amazon they're doing really well in Japan. I think they're the leading streaming service in Japan. Like, on top of, they're doing better than Netflix, Disney, and Hulu, which Hulu is not a part of Disney in Japan. So they're leading. They're knocking it out of the park in Japan. But they haven't touched global streaming of anime ever since Anime Strike, except for Evangelion. And I think that was just something they already signed up for, maybe. Yeah, it's like it's a double, it's multi-purpose, right? So how many people are actually signing up for Amazon's video service, or are they just signing up for Prime for shipping delivery and they get that in the same time? I fully acknowledge that. It's a good point to bring up. Unless Japan's separate. I wonder if Japan Amazon Video is separate from their delivery service. I'd have to look into that. That might be the case. High Dive has the ecchi shows. About the only one that's going to be having them. Unfortunately. I mean, when was the last time we had a really ecchi show? I mean, there was Isekai Harem, which I don't know who... I still this day have no idea what was going through their head when they not just licensed Isekai Harem, they co-produced it. Like, they were on the production committee. Like, why? And then you have the censored version. Like, what was going through their head when they did that? You suffered the dialogue boxes? Why? 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 And they had World End Harem, but that was not... I don't think that was their production. Yeah, Futoko no Guild is the best this season. I just love that show. That show is so good. It's even better than Peter Grill and Love Flops, like, combined. The only thing that makes me laugh more than Moral Guild is Isekai Uncle. But Bezos too busy with interplanetary stuff. Yeah, that and New World. They're too busy with interplanetary New World. But no, High Dive is supposed to be getting the Inukai dog next season, so that's going to be good. Harem Labyrinth, better than Worlds. Anything's better than World in Harem. Peter Grill is cool because it gets to the point quickly. Yes, Isekai Oji-san. Yeah. I don't know. I need to watch the recent episode of Peter Grill, but the 2 episodes I watched of the sister was like killing it so bad. Like, not good. Not a good way killing it. Just watched the latest 2 episodes of Love. I didn't watch today's episode. Didn't they release an episode today? Last episode was like, oh, there we go. So it's exactly what we thought it was going to be. I wonder if Futoko no Guild will get licensed by Critical Mass Video. If they're still alive. If they're still alive, Critical Mass will pick it up. If they're still alive. It would be funny if they have a spin-off World Harem Fantasia. Don't think so. The dog anime sounds so cursed. I cannot wait to watch it. It would be nice if Sentai Filmworks really shocked us by having the uncensored version. Just go out in a blaze. AMC's crashing. Just get the uncensored version and go wild with it. Whatever controversy pops up, just go wild with it. Obligatory Nier Automata stream win. I don't think it's happening at this point. I am so, like, trying to keep up with Mushoku Tensei and everything. I don't think it's happening. Plus, like I said, the world of anime blowing up every 2 seconds. Any thoughts on Nozomi Entertainment, Right Stuff, Sony, and the Macross announcements? I am super pumped. I am signed up for review copies, and I will be watching them. If they don't cut me off because Sony doesn't like me anymore. As long as Right Stuff does not get word from Sony that they don't want to do business with me anymore because I keep criticizing Sony. But I'm supposed to be signed up for those, and I cannot wait for them. I'm not signed up for the ones that are coming out of Anime Limited, though. I need to contact my contact with them and see if it's possible that he can send them. I might be able to get somebody to send me them. Nier Automata is going to make me cry like the OP Red. They're utilizing Nier content outside of the game, too. The latest PV had Lily in it. She's a from the stage play. Yeah, I seen you mention that on the Discord. I have no clue what you're talking about. So I'm just gonna hope that you're right. Amazon Japan has an otaku store. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know why not. I wonder if they'll be dub them or sub them only. Sub. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be sub. Because Nozomi Entertainment doesn't do dubs. They pull old dubs, but they don't do their own dubs. The only time they did a dub was... The only time they did a dub was with the... Oh my gosh, what's the name of the stupid show? That romance show. That's the only one they've ever done on it. I think. I think it had a dub. It was a really good dub, too. It was a really good dub. Currently having a problem with keeping up subtitles. Any tips? I switched to dub during the summer, and I don't like being behind on shows. Like, just reading it, you're having troubles. I've had times where I was sick, and I could not read subtitles. What I ended up doing is just keeping my finger on the back button and just hitting back whenever I missed something. The other option that you really have is to, if you're watching on high dive, you can actually set it to a slower view speed on browser. I wish that Crunchyroll would have a speed setting. It does sound weird because then you have to have it being like, do that whole slow motion jitter to the voicing and stuff like that, but that is an option. But the last option, if you're willing to do it, is to download the episodes and then play it on VLC and do it at a slower speed. And it doesn't mess with the audio as much. So, does that mean they dubbed the Arya series? Yes, I think so. Yeah, it was part of the Kickstarter though. Yeah, and I think they did the same thing with Captain Taylor, didn't they? So mainly the ones that they kickstart, basically. Which that was all the ones they kickstarted. They kickstarted Arya. I can't think of the romance show that I keep trying to think of. And Tyler. How do you think 50% of the people watch Monogatari Spacebar? Right? Spacebar or left arrow. VLC is the ways to go if you really want a granular playback speed adjustments. Yeah, they have a really good system. It can get messed up if you go too fast or too slow, but it's got a really good system in there to keep the audio decent. Emma, thank you, Shrap. Gosh, it was driving me crazy trying to remember the name. I really like Emma. If they don't dub Macross Delta, there's no reason to buy another copy since the import already has it subbed. So was Frontier Movies. That would be a shame. Now, the other reason I think that they're not going to dub it is because the announcement to release is really quick. Because didn't they announce it like in summer? And they're supposed to be coming out like next month, I believe. I have to double check. But I haven't heard anything on it since then, so I don't even know if it's still happening. A recommendation on how to get the into the Fate series. I tried watching the first series multiple times, but it's just boring starting out. Just jump right into Fate Unlimited Blade Works. And if you can't get into it, then it's not for you. Don't start with Fate Grand Order. Shut up, Adrian. Shut up. Don't touch Fate Grand Order. You touch Fate Grand Order when you get into the characters, and then you give them plenty of money for the gacha. But no, I think if you jump into Fate Unlimited Blade Works, that's the best starting point. And it doesn't work for you, it's just not for you. Because other than that, there's Fate Zero, which is a prequel, which you don't want to watch until you watch Unlimited Blade Works. Fate Extra. Do Fate Extra if you like things that are super obscure and sort of hard to figure out. Like you like piecing things together. You might like Fate Extra more. So it just depends on, like, if you're looking for something where you have to dissect it, that's Fate Extra. Unlimited Blade Works is just fun action with great characters. If you like if you like cutesy characters and compromising stuff, shenanigans, Fate Collide Liner. But there is spoilers in Fate Collide Liner for the Fate series. Heaven's Field specifically. Yeah, Apocrypha's a good one too. But it wasn't that great in my opinion. But Apocrypha can be watched alone as well. You've only seen the first Fate anime, so Fate Stay Night, the Dean version? Then then start watching Unlimited Blade Works. It's so much better. The original Dean Fate is just terrible. Just terrible. I'm interested in Apocrypha, but I know it's quite far into the series. No, Apocrypha is standalone. You can jump right into Apocrypha. Like, there's nothing in Apocrypha that I remember that was like, oh my gosh, that's a cool reference to this one. And it's like it's a different Grail War too. It's got a different system too. It's like red versus black. Got Unlimited Blade Works and haven't watched it yet. It's really good. It was a lot of fun. I still need to watch the rest of Heavensville, honestly. I have them all. I just have not watched them yet. Unlimited Blade Works is great, yeah. Fate sounds really confusing to get into. Don't know how much of anything about it. It's not really confusing. It's just essentially there's this holy grail. Everybody wants it. All these mages find some sort of artifact that ties into a specific hero of the past. They summon them. They fight to death. Whoever's at the top gets the grail. They get the holy grail. That's all I'll say. They get the holy grail. Everybody's happy. And it's it's a bunch of backstabbing, hunting, espionage, tricking, all that kind of stuff. Just don't ask about the moon under any circumstances. Try Apocrypha tonight then as well as Unlimited. Yeah, like I said, Apocrypha wasn't as great as Unlimited Blade Works, but it was still good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed John. The arc's great. Plus Astolfo. Nafe is not that confusing. Gundam UC timeline is. That's not that bad. Gundam UC timeline's not that bad. Riddle me this, Batman. I'm watching those who hunt elves. Is it just me, or is it dubbed crazy and made up like ghost stories? It seems pretty dang goofy. I've not watched those who hunt elves yet, but I'll have to take your word on that. I've watched a little bit of ghost stories, and I had to stop because it was kind of a little over. It was a little bit too. It was trying a little too hard for me. I probably would have enjoyed it if I watched it like earlier in my life. Am I done with this story? I think the only thing else I really had was just who would buy it. And I don't think anybody's going to buy AMC. Again, I don't think Crunchyroll is because, one, they don't care about older catalog. Nobody watches them. Two, they don't need Sentai Filmworks' production group for their physicals because they have Funimation's group. And yeah, it's better for them just to let them fail. Disney, I can see buying High Dive only if they care to bolster their Hulu anime offerings. I say specifically Hulu in North America because Sentai Filmworks doesn't really have licenses in a lot of regions. I think they have like 100 countries that they're streaming in, but I don't think Disney cares too much. Disney's focus is so much on the Asian market that getting more titles for the West doesn't really suit them. They don't need the physical production group because they already have it. Again, they're Disney. They make plenty of Blu-rays. So I don't think anybody would buy them. Some random like NBC or something buying them, I can see them doing that if they just want their assets. And that's the scary thing is I don't think they would be going after AMC for their anime assets. They would probably be going after like Walking Dead and stuff like that. And Breaking Bad and all that kind of stuff. And if that's the case, I just hope they leave High Dive alone. Hopefully leave High Dive alone. Like, I just want High Dive to survive on his own. High Dive was the chosen one to break against the bad guys. And I don't know. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen to them. Again, I'm just really hoping that they just downsize AMC. High Dive's making them plenty of money. Keep it afloat. Keep it off the side. And just keep doing what you're doing. And the Grand Order is visually amazing. Yeah, Fake Grand Order is really good. Like, all the Fake Grand Order stuff was great. Babylonia was really, really amazing. I was very impressed by that. And I wasn't sure about it, too, because it was a studio that I wasn't sure about handling a Fate property. They nailed it. Now somebody distract him with another some other stuff. You don't want me talking about this. I won't talk about it. Fine, I'll stop talking about it. I've talked it to death anyways. I'll have a video coming tomorrow that I'll go into details on this situation. Actually, I have it recorded already, so I'll post that tomorrow morning. I also have to do... I'm going to do a video on this one as well. I just don't really know how I want to tackle it. And this video I already made, so... This stuff is, like, keeping me so busy lately. I'll get through it all, though. Because then we have to get ready for the coming season and everything. Next week, by the way, I will be starting our winter 2022 preview. So I will be streaming on Twitch. Next week, next Wednesday, I will be streaming on Twitch. Because I can't do my previews on YouTube because YouTube sucks. So, if you're not already, twitch.tv/otakuspirited. It's an ED at the end of it. I have links on otakuspirit.com and everything. So... yeah, Fate Babylonia was great. I enjoyed it. Disney is going woke, get broke. I'm getting broke. That's the only concern I really have around Disney is I don't want them touching... I don't want them touching anime. But I will admit they haven't really touched it. They haven't broke anything yet. So I'm really hoping that whoever's running their anime department within Disney, obviously it feels like they're not messing with things too much. I think they're being really respectful of the properties when it comes to distribution in Asia. And I think they know that if they mess this stuff too much, it's not going to work for them. Like they're literally going to be wasting money over there. Because essentially it's going over there saying, hey, we want your content. They go, okay, here's my content. It's cost this much. They buy it and they go, change it. And it's like, no, we're not going to change it. What are they going to do? They're gonna have to basically throw their hands up and walk away, and they don't want to do that. So it's like they're having to play by their rules. Now later on, that might change, especially with the idea that Western distribution has grown so much that the anime industry is loving it. But we'll see. In the end, there's a lot of the anime is technically advertisement for releases in Japan, so they don't want to screw around with it too much. Serious question, why do you think any other languages like French, Spanish, and German get manga of series faster and exclusive not on English? Assume it's because of not that popular in those languages. I have no idea. So you're saying that there's French releases, Spanish releases, and German releases of manga quicker than English? Or you think that English is getting it faster and they're not? It's going to be wherever the market is and whatever distributors you have for it, honestly. I heard that Pixif is now removing even safe for work artwork due to MasterCard event. What? Like... people believe that it's safe for work, but they're still flagging it. I wonder if people are trolling the system because they know it's screwed up. I have to look into that because that was my big concern. Because obviously what happened there was that the credit card services were like, hey, we don't like this content. We don't want to do transactions for you. And suddenly Pixif had to go, all right, we can't sell this stuff no more because we need them to make transactions because it makes us money. But the problem is there that they didn't really establish the ground rules properly. And so it can go to two different directions. One, it becomes too much of a gray area and it's not established clear enough that nobody's safe. Or the opposite end is that people troll the hell out of the system until they back off. And I wonder if people troll the system, reporting random stuff, and then they're like cutting stuff, and then eventually they realize this isn't going to work. Like, unless you build like an algorithm that can tell them what's right and wrong, they can't go through enough tickets to keep it from falling apart. Apparently comics in general are popular in France. I wouldn't doubt it. I think comics, specifically like superhero Western comics, have kind of died in the West and manga has overtaken it.
But I can see some other regions it's still flourishing because, to be perfectly honest, the superhero comics and stuff like that in the West has kind of been falling apart due to powers that be. Like, there's a manga that you can't find in English, but there are other languages or boxes or are more detailed. Like I said, it really just comes down to like the publishers themselves. If there's a France if there's a publisher in another country, they're gonna select the titles they think will sell, and they'll license them, translate them, and sell them. It's not as if they all agree that we're going to release all these titles, these specific titles in all these regions. It's just whatever the publisher, the licensor wants to sell. If they think that something will sell better in, you know, Germany or something like that than it will in America, they're gonna license there without checking to see if America has it first. Unless it's like 7 Seas in Germany or something like that. Mokona, what's up? Most older manga lack full translations like Baka to Test. Yeah, I really don't like whenever a lot of that stuff kind of falls apart. We were talking about that with 7 Seas when 7 Seas was having its issue with its employees. This idea that there's a possibility that things that were done by 7 Seas will fall apart, like Mushoku Tensei. But hey, they're already failing miserably at printing those anyways, so who cares if they fall apart at this point? There are more things into things like heavy metal and characters like Valerian. I must have read somebody respond to somebody else. I have no clue what that means. Which one is the best music of anime of 2020-22? 2020-22. Bocchi the Rock or Ya Boy Kongming? Ya Boy Kongming. Easy. And that's nostalgia too, because the OP and the ED were like total playbacks. So, really enjoyed it. Now, like the general music in it, I would probably say Bocchi. I just like the goofiness and the variety of Ya Boy Kongming, because they're doing like rap and they're doing a whole bunch of other stuff in there as well. Whereas Bocchi the Rock obviously is just doing specifically just rock. But I did like the fact that Bocchi the Rock is willing to have their actual music they're playing. You can hear their troubles. Like if they're having a problem with their performance, you can hear it. And I like they didn't just do like, okay, let's just play what this band played for this particular episode, and then have the characters criticize what happened in it, even though you can't hear that there's problems with what they're doing. They pulled that off really well. So you can actually hear their lack of harmonization, I guess. Why not both? Exactly. Why not both? Example, I'll end with this. Momo the Blood Taker is 2nd volume, but in other languages, they are at volume 6. So they all licensed it at the same time, but some are translating it faster. Again, that's just up to the publisher. How quickly they want to release it. Technically, somebody can like speed release a series. It's quite possible. But publishers do sometimes want to stagger releases. Multiple reasons. The first reason is because they don't want to release too fast, because people won't read it fast enough, or they won't have the money to keep buying it. And eventually they'll start to see people will start dropping off buying each volume because either they don't have the money for it, or they just they can't read it fast enough. The second reason is printing availability. So if it is not a digital, if it's an actual physical print, a lot of these companies, depending on how many books they're currently publishing on a weekly basis, they will have to adjust for how much materials they have that week to produce those particular volumes. If they have like 5 different light novels releasing in a week, they have to figure out how much materials will come in if they can meet that. And if they can't meet that, they'll have to push something off to another week. So it's materials, it's rate of release. What was the third one? I had 3. Basically having the person that is going to translate it be able to pull it off. If the translator is having troubles or is going to need more time to translate it, it'll push it back as well. And then an editor if you're doing like a manga or something, somebody that can both blank out pages and put in content, which I think they get digital copies from Japan now. I think they get digital copies from Japan that don't have boxes filled out now. I could be wrong. Hopefully that answers that. That's all speculation. I don't know for sure. That's just what I would believe maybe possibly happening. I have to choose one of the 9th anime trending awards. I keep jumping in other people's conversations. Y'all just talk with them amongst yourself. Y'all just talk amongst yourself and ignore me being here. Do you recommend to watch both the anime of Urusei back to back? I mean, if you want to, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just know that the new Urusei Yatsura will be skipping a lot. They're basically doing each of the introduction episodes, and then they're just going to skip to, like, these pinnacle points in the series. So they won't cover everything. Andrew Who. Quiet, Genghis. You with your wrench. Stop acting like you have power. Now it doesn't help that the paper shortage is, is still in. Yeah, they're still claiming there's a paper shortage. This recent email that I got from Right Stuff said they are still facing paper shortages. Which, paper shortage was a problem when I was still working for a procurement team. And it sucks. It actually legit sucked. That's what I got into when I was talking about that whole situation with 7 Seas. Everybody was talking about how during the pandemic they were doing so much better. And 7 Seas seen these huge sales increases. And I'm like, yeah, but you do realize that all of those papers that they're now having to buy cost a lot more. We've seen during the first year of the outbreak, a lot of our distributors were wanting pretty much a 50 to 60% increase in cost. This is like boxes, pretty much like half of what I bought had something in it paper-wise. And they were legit wanting to charge 50 to 60% more. I had to go to each one of these companies and literally essentially be like, what's up, man? We've been through a lot together, you know? What's up, man? It's been a long time. How you doing, dude? Dude, your secretary called me earlier and she said that she's got to have me sign. She needs me to re-sign this contract because I got to change their rates. And I'm like, dude, can you go talk to her? I mean, you and me, we go way back, man. It was that whole dish. You had to go to each one of them and find which one was your actual friends. The person that would go over there and go, they did technically. You wanted to have a pre-signed, I forget the name of it now. Gosh, I've been away for so long. Essentially, you buy into like a set price and it can only change so much. So, but yeah, paper has gone up. I don't know if it's gone back down. I legit haven't been in that stuff for like 3 years now. I would assume it's still high though. I don't see anything changing. We need to plant the trees. There's plenty around here. There's no shortage of them. They're still growing. They just don't want to cut them and they don't want to splice them up apparently. I think it's just manpower. It's not like trees have gone away. I think it's just manpower. They got to get people to actually go out there and do it. My work is buying a machine that creates a box for each part of bulk cardboard instead of having racks full of cardboard boxes. Machine that creates the box for each part from bulk cardboard instead of having racks full of cardboard boxes. So for the production of a product then, like before it's sold, because we always bought pre-made boxes. I'm guessing it's post-made boxes, I guess. We found the dude that works for Maine, or with Maine. Mine? Then you go back to bronze then? Make every box out of bronze? Or books? Yeah, bookworm, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I don't know. Can we start calling her Rosamine? I mean, I like mine. Mine's a cute name. But are we good with going to are we at this point, is everybody cool with us transitioning to Rosamine? Like, is that allowed yet? It's easier to say mine, though. It's weird when you're reading it. We put the parts in the machine, and it builds the box for it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I went down to a plant where they had those big O machines that puts together, and it was pretty wicked. Rosa who? Okay, apparently we can't use that term yet. Nope, need to see Rosamine in action. We legit did. She was at the end of the last season. Am I the only one that's seen her be called Rosamine? Yeah, he calls her Rosamine at the very end. We're there. Okay, Aaron's seen it. I was like, am I crazy? Am I crazy? Am I the only one that's seen him say that? I didn't get where there. I just know the name, but that okay. Okay. I don't know. I'll probably still call her mine. She's been in my heart as mine for so long. It's hard to change. It's definitely hard to change. Have we gotten another season announcement yet? It needs to be announced yet. But now, like I said earlier, I will be doing previews for the winter 2023 season next week on Twitch. We will go through, and like I've said before, essentially what I do is I go through. I get all the information put together for our podcast, so I get titles, synopses, trailers, people working on the project. So if you're one of the types that likes to dig into this stuff and get in the nitty-gritty of who's working on stuff, that's what we pretty much go through with those videos or those live streams. I used to do them on my own, hidden away in my room, but we've been having a lot of fun doing them on live stream because people like to come in there and watch me as I watch the trailers and stuff. And because I'm watching trailers, I can't do it on YouTube. So, like I said, it will be on Twitch. So everybody resub up on Twitch. I want to see all the primes on Twitch before next week. And I'll name them all off. A Galaxy Next Door from April is the same author as Sweetness and Lightning. Yes, and A Galaxy Next Door is Kodansha, so it'll probably be on Disney. It'll probably be on Disney. What's up, Puff? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Tomorrow's December, right? Right? Is that true? That's true, right? Yeah, and then in 2 days, New Year's Carol drops on Princess Connect Redive, and I'm totally going after her. Sung-Hoo Park, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 director, is going an original anime, which will show on Disney+. It seems like Disney is buying a new project, which is done by well-known animators. It's just the director. I don't know. I mean, the animation directors did a really fantastic job with Jujutsu Kaisen, but I don't know that Sung-Hoo Park blew me away with that show. I mean, am I alone on that one? I'm probably alone on that one. Was I the only one that wasn't like super impressed by Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1 directing wise? I mean, the animators did a phenomenal job, but nothing stood out in that show as like, dang, the directing in this show is great. You feel Jujutsu Kaisen was largely for chicks? I mean, Gojo is super hot. I mean, I can't deny it. I have to go in for now. All right, Duhalt, thanks for dropping by. Take care. See you on Mushoku Mondays. Or you just say Mushoku Mondays, you're not going to be there. Shame on you if not. It's already December here. Well, happy December. Which you like better, live streaming or YouTube? On YouTube or Twitch? They have their benefits. Obviously, what I've built is on YouTube. So my YouTube streams are a lot more active. There's a lot more people there. A lot more people that I've already kind of conversed with on comments and stuff. So it's a lot of people I already know. The YouTube's been built. It's a lot easier. The system feels better. It has down-resing default. It plays better. Like, everything about YouTube is better. The only thing that's better about Twitch is that I don't have to worry about strikes if I accidentally hit this play button. If I hit this play button, right, this is the only thing that's wrong with YouTube. If I press this, I will probably get a strike. Like, this says click me and you will have a strike. And I hate that because technically a part of my job now is YouTube. And if I click this, I literally could lose my job. That's really how it feels. Whereas Twitch, I can play music, I can play videos, I can play video games and not get claims or strikes. So I've gotten claims on YouTube just by playing video games. Like Final Fantasy 14, there was a boss battle that had a song that they claimed the entire live stream. Genshin Impact, if you fight the Dvalin fight, they will claim your video. It's stupid. And that's the only thing I don't like about YouTube, is they don't protect their content creators when it comes to live streaming. Everybody's guilty until proven innocent. But yeah, if I didn't have this problem, if they would just mute the stream when this plays just to get around it like Twitch does, I would stream here all the time because everybody's here. Love the community around here. A lot of people that are here don't want to watch Twitch, and I understand that because Twitch has crappy ads. But yeah, so that's why I chose to just move back to doing YouTube for the most part. It's just for this one stream, I'll have to do it on Twitch because Twitch won't get mad at me. Nightmare FDS, Nightmare FD3S. Thanks for the $10, man. I appreciate it so much. Appreciate all the work you've done covering these topics, especially speaking out against censorship. Regarding Kodansha deal, I will sail the 7 seas. I don't support Disney and despise them. And I think a majority of people I've talked to in the last couple days echo that. And I'm right there with you. Disney is not my favorite company at all. But I hate it because I almost want them to exist because I don't want Crunchyroll to get the monopoly. I really don't, because that's going to be the worst for the community. But, yeah, again, thank you so much for $10, man. I appreciate your support so much. You're amazing, dude. Really appreciate it. But no, I think, it's kind of like I said earlier, I do think that they are trying to play very safe with the Asian market. I don't think they want to censor anything in the Asian market for their licenses. So that's my only hope, is that whatever they license there will be sent through channels through things like Hulu, placed on Hulu without that censorship, and I'm perfectly fine. Like, Bleach right now is super violent. Like, it is. Bleach is super violent, and they're not changing anything. And so that's my hope with everything else. The fear is that eventually, again, like Crunchyroll and Sony, eventually they'll get so powerful that they'll be able to make those demands. And that's the fearful part. The moment when companies like Sony, Crunchyroll, Disney, Hulu start making demands of the Japanese market because the market share shifts to overseas distribution is higher. It already has. For the anime industry, they make more money in the West for distribution than they do locally. Now, I don't think that matters too much for Japan because they're still their primary focus, despite the fact that they can make, what was it, like, in 2020, I think they made like $9 billion. Japan anime market made $9 billion from overseas distributions, from licenses. And that was huge. And like I said, eventually they plateaued to where anime was making more in the West than it was in Japan. The only thing that doesn't make it to where they go suddenly, okay, what do you guys want over there? Because obviously our stuff's doing well, is because Japan's still in their focus. The production committees, their focus is still, we want people to buy our manga. Because our manga makes a boat ton of money. That's still Japan's focus. That's the only reason they still don't want to censor their content for Western ones, is because they still need to sell the source material. Because the source material, unlike here where it's hard to get paper and get reprints of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, over in Japan, I don't know if you guys know this. I just about grabbed Roxy Gets Serious, and I was going to pop open Roxy Gets Serious, and then I was going to get really seriously mad and probably cut off the stream because I'd probably see what everybody told me not to see. I haven't read this yet. Hopefully there's nothing bad on here. Again, over here, printing a manga takes a lot. And that's mainly because that's some thick paper. This stuff's got some thick paper. In Japan, it's like newspaper thin paper over there. And that's why they print that stuff like crazy, because their paper in mangas in Japan, it's so thin you can sneeze and it'll fall apart. From what I understand, it's almost like newspaper quality thin stuff, like super cheap thin paper. Yeah, I wouldn't even say Xerox. It's like you know, whenever you go to like yeah, perfect example. God, what they call that stuff? I haven't bought that stuff in like 10 years. You know, like whenever you have, is it a Xerox printer? The ones that have like 3 copies. So if you go like a mechanic and they print out your receipt and they have you sign it, and it's got like 3 layers to it because it transfers through it. It's that thin. It's that thinness. It's super thin. So they make that stuff super cheap. They mass produce it, and that's why it sells so well there. So carbon copy, yeah. Not carbon soda, carbon copy. Yeah, good comparison. The red paper, yeah, the thinnest sheet. That's the stuff you get. But yeah, it's super cheap for them to make, and that's why we over here in the West, on the other hand, we're so particular about this stuff. Early on, they started producing this kind of stuff, and we got used to it. Was that other one really super thin? I'm gonna pull this one out again. I think I legit bring this out every week. Oh. I kicked my mic wire. Okay, it's still good. I bring this out every week. No, even this is like super thick. That's actually closer to them. It's actually pretty, it's still thick. These are like the earliest chapter by chapter releases of manga back in the day. Viz Media was still around back then. But anyways, they established early on that they would be this thick of paper. And so we're so choosy in the West that this stuff has to be like decent quality that we demand this. ASMR. Is that fine? Is that good? I better see some super chats here soon. Oh, hold on. Wow, this book, what the I haven't read this yet. What's going on in this story? I still need to read this because this is the Inside Mari guy. I absolutely love him. So creepy. Anyways, ASMR over. I should have actually slowly raised my voice. I don't know if you guys turn up the volume. There, Jay-Z Meister. Hold on a sec. Let me get back to this. I think I'm making more money being ASMR than anything. Joking. The book sounds beautiful. Jay-Z Meister, thanks so much for the 5. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. You're amazing. Andrew, you're thinking of NCR paper, not carbon required? Probably. Yes, the NCR paper. Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, it's been too long. I used to have to buy that stuff all the time too because we had like 5 printers that ran that stuff in our shipping department. So I hated this stuff. We used to buy like 16 cases of these transfer papers, and they were all like custom built and everything. And we had to authorize the PDF every single time. It was crazy. I should make an ASMR channel.
Like manga and light novel reading ASMR. It'll be nothing but just flipping through pages. That's a genius idea. Okay. I got it. So, I'm doing Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation right now. So, on this channel, I'm doing Mushoku Mondays where we talk about what's happening in Mushoku Tensei, the novel series. But then I'll have another side channel that will be... It'll just be called ASMR Read With Me. And it'll be where I'm reading it and getting content to eventually do the Mushoku Mondays. So I'm making twice as much content. I make twice as much money. Genius. 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 Viz Media is still around. They're the effing pioneers. Brother, yes, right. I think that was all. I think this is all Viz. What was the Ranma one? Yeah, the Ranma one was Viz too. That's all I have is Viz and Ranma. Everybody likes seeing this one more than the Tenchi Muyo one. Everybody gets like super excited when they see that one. Things like ancient. It's pristine too. It's pristine condition. I should look it up and see how much I can make from it. Probably not much. Dude, I would love after they finish Urusei Yatsura for them to do Ranma 1/2, but I don't know. They probably think it's like too offensive and it would be too difficult to censor because they censored Urusei Yatsura. Do you think Manga Spice and do you know Manga Spice and what's your opinion on it? I've had it for a few years and I love it. And the manga that's in them, I think it's the top 3 new manga in Japan that month. I have not checked that out, no. Is it kind of like Shonen Jump or something like that? Oh my gosh. Please, chat. It's just jumping all over the place right now. You can get a head bob for ASMR? Oh, like the dummy head mic? Well, I technically have... I have 2 mics. I have 2 channels. I can set it up. I'll do it another time, though. Do it another time now. Hey man, you obviously watch a ton of anime, but do you play video games? If so, any recent games you've enjoyed? I haven't had much time to play video games, much as I used to. The last game that I played all the way through was Elden Ring, and I loved it freaking death. Like, that game was just... It was so good. Loved it. Other than that, I tried to get through Tales of Arise, but I didn't get very far into it. I got like maybe to the... I just exited the first area, like the first big area. Other than that, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think was before then, and Xenoblade Chronicles Torna. Oh, and Ghost of Tsushima. It was super good too. I try to get time for games. I mostly play like Genshin Impact just to be a time waster every now and then. But no, I don't. I was doing live streaming of video games, but everybody was bored watching me play games, so I switched to just streaming about anime. Oh my god, I love Elden Ring, so good. I can't wait for DLC whenever it comes out. Dude, if Elden Ring doesn't win Game of the Year, I'm gonna punch somebody. Like, I've been watching, I loved God of War. The first one. And God of War Ragnarok looks like it has a lot of improvements in it. Not too sure if I like the story so far. I haven't seen the whole story yet. I'm watching somebody else stream it. I just don't think it comes anywhere. I don't think anything comes close to what Elden Ring did. Like, Elden Ring legit it's an industry changer. So if it doesn't win, I'm gonna be very shocked. I don't think anything else is really up to it. Definitely not Horizon. That Horizon disappeared real quick.
Will I make a room tour video? I've decided here recently, since I just hit 8K subs on the channel, as soon as I get 10K subs, I will do a room tour. Like, I will drop everything, and I'll finally finish my room tour. I've recorded it like 3 times, and I keep dumping it. So, there you have it. If you guys can get me up to 10K subs, I will do a room tour finally. I will drop everything for a week and make it happen. Because my last room tour video was like when I had like one shelf and like one area up there. It's been a long time. What's my favorite anime figure? I decided this one time and I think I've forgotten what it was. I want to say it's Hook version Saber Altar, because that thing's amazing, and it comes with an actual portrait of Hook's artwork. But another side of me wants to say the Deep Sea Miku. I don't know. That's a hard one. It's like choosing it. Oh no, it's Here, it's not in pictures, so you guys got to see it. Hold on. I'll show you what my favorite one is. Can he type, Andrew? Apparently Andrew doesn't know how to type right now. Here it is. Hopefully nothing pops up on the screen as an advertisement. Here's one of my favorite figures. It's an amazing figure. And yes, I bought it. It's an amazing figure. I have not gotten a Roxy figure, no. All the Roxy figures were coming out after I kind of switched jobs to do this full time, so I'm just kind of I might still buy one. I don't know that I want to get the anime Roxy figure because her face isn't right, and I'm super picky about faces. I actually want to see how the bikini Roxy comes out, how that one looks. Somebody finally wanted to point it out. No, this is like one of those ones where when I seen it announced, I'm like, yay, finally a Belle Dondi comes out. We haven't had a Belle Dondi figure in forever. There was one Belle Dondi figure a while back. But this one comes out and I'm like, okay, she's super cute. It's good quality. It's good small company. And then it comes in and I'm like, wow, that rocket. And now it's just a joke. Like now it's like now it's just a humor piece that I have this thing on my shelf that everybody questions what the rocket looks like. That's obviously going for something that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, I need to convert it into a pin holder. I think that would actually work out very well. So happy Dark Horse is picking up Oh My Goddess Omnibus. Really? Didn't that like die at some point and they never finished it? Yeah, I would love to go get that series. You work for Right Stuff, or what industry you work for that deals with paper? It was a manufacturing company of a product. I don't really get into the details of it. They were just a manufacturer of a consumable. Do you see Eris ones though? Yeah, the one with Eris in the bikini with the cloak is easily the best figure that's come out of Mushoku so far. That one looks absolutely insane, though I don't know how it's going to last because it looks like it'll become a leaner. It's one of those ones that just you buy enough figures, which I used to buy a lot of figures, obviously, that you start to see similarities between them, and you know that they're gonna be a problem. Let me see if I can bring it up. But it looks gorgeous. Like, it looks so good. Of course, it's the first one that comes up. Let's see. I think that's probably the best view of it to know. So, see, it pretty much has, like, the center point. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can see my mouse. See my mouse over there? The center point's, like, right here. And any further than this, all extra weight is all put on this one small ankle right here. Now, they could have a rod. A lot of these will actually produce a rod that will go into the base, and it comes into the foot all the way up to about right here. So as long as it has one of these rods and you keep it in good temperature, it won't be a problem. But typically what will happen is right here, over about a course of about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, if you have temperatures right, all this weight right here, it pretty much from here, around here, this weight right here, onward, is all extra weight that will slowly bend that ankle. So, but it looks great. Like, that is an incredibly good looking figure. They did a fantastic job on it. Like, you can argue like the whole holy crap, what the heck's up with her waist and pelvis, but it's art. It's going for some exaggerations, but it looks great. It looks really great. But I like the Roxy figures. Let's do Roxy Maguridia. This one I'm troubled with. Honestly, I'm extremely troubled with this one. This is the anime figure. It's got, obviously, there's a seam. I think people have already confirmed it online because they've got it now, but there's an obvious seam in here, so this all comes off here. And then it has the extra arm, so it's a 3-armed figure. So it's legit the show's figure. And I love it for that because it's so super cool. They took essentially the concept that Rudius makes in the story and they made it a figure. The problem is her face. It just doesn't, it legit doesn't look like her. And I am like an absolute stick. Yeah, there's a seam right there. The seam is pretty unsightly, but I know most people probably won't even have the cloak on. We want, let's be honest, nobody wants the cloak on. But that's just, how does that look like Roxy? I mean, other than the signature eyelashes coming down low, it just doesn't look like her. And like I said, I'm super picky when it comes to faces. There's three things I'm picky about with figures. Faces, if I don't see the face of the figure and go, that's Roxy, it's off for me. The second thing is hair seam. Let's see if there's a good shot of this. Is there an overhead shot? Probably not. Yeah, there's an overhead shot. When you can see like a seam going across right here, which is essentially they make the hair, they'll make a front hair piece. So everything at a half point forward, they'll make one hair piece. And then everything there back, they'll do one hair piece. They make the head and they stick the hair piece on and they glue it together. a lot of figure companies will actually try to hide it by having extra strands of hair kind of intersect each other. This one's doing a good job of it. I think the hair looks fine here. An actual finished product might be look worse, but see if I have a good example. All my figure cases are open, so I might as well show them. If I don't drop something. All right, somebody was asking earlier my favorite figure. It's a good thing that I don't have, Whoa, okay, whoa. Yeah, that would be one of my favorites. And that's Saberhook. Shut up! Shut up about the angle. Perverts. That was completely unintentional, YouTube. Completely unintentional, YouTube. See, this one's got... Let's see if I can hold this without dropping it. This one's got a kind of bad seam. See where you can obviously see where the front of the hair comes to the back of the hair? That's a hair seam. YouTube police all over here. He's the guy. He's got the hook butt shot. I swear that was completely unintentional. I have a worse example. Where is it at? Sakura Saber's great. Oh, please don't drop things. I have so many live streams where I finish the live stream and there's like a million things for me to clean up afterwards. This is going to be one of those. This is one of my favorites too. That's Sakura Saber. It's just got a good got a good flow to it. She's got a really nice pose. Now, here's the example of how to avoid nobody cares about YouTube flashing. This is an example of kind of like that Edis figure where you do have a flare to it. See, this is a center point. And see how they balanced it? They made sure that this side of the figure is very heavy. So you have this whole section here and the foot. It's all counterbalancing the center point, which is right here. So this is a really, this design is amazing. Like, they did a fantastic job with not only just making this look very flowy, but actually be something that balances really well. But yeah, like I said, this is another example that they do a pretty good job of hiding the seam. This is like legit a live stream about seams on figures. Come on, camera. Camera. There you go. They kind of make it to where the front bangs kind of go back over, lapping the back end, so you don't really see that seam. So it's actually a good way of actually hiding it. But yeah. Yeah, the only fail... Yeah, there's a lot of sabers in that I have one display that's nothing but sabers. That's the only fail this figure had. It's like they airbrushed the skirt after they put it together. And that airbrushing of the red actually ended up on her thigh. Which is pretty bad. It's not that. It doesn't show up that much, but it's still kind of like, really? 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 For reals? Now, let me put some of these back. Please wait. Your broadcast will continue soon. Alright, I'll show something else off. Something not saber. The only not saber face in my saber face cabinet. Which is something that's not actually pinned down on the freaking thing. This one I legit didn't think I was going to be able to get. Because they released all of these racing versions. Why aren't you focusing, baby? There you go. That's better. They weren't reprinting these, and I was so afraid I wasn't going to get it. But she is great. Because they would never want to release that other
Rin Tosaka that was out. And it took forever to get her. I'm gonna put this down before I drop it. I won't take any more out of that cabinet, I'm sorry. Nightmare FD3S. Thanks so much for the $10. I appreciate it so much. Be honest, have you ever purchased anything from native online store or otherwise NSFW figures? I own a lot of figures and have probably over a dozen Saber figures. I also own a lot of B-style figures. No. There has been some very NSFW figures that I've wanted to buy in the past. Like, for example, I kind of wanted to get the Nekopada stuff, but I didn't. Legit, the most risque one that I have... I think the most risky one that I have is probably either the Congo, the blanking name, Eddie Spencer, or probably the Ranger Murata, Musa Ranger Murata. I won't take any more Fate ones out. People mocking me for my Fate figures. Let's see. No. Never mind. I found it. And no, it's not safe for work. Stay. Yes, I have weird things that keep things sealed. Get out of here. Trip over comics. Yes, this is my... I gotta choose the angle very wisely here. That's probably the most risque one I have. For obvious reasons. It's probably the most risky one they have. I don't know why it's risque, but I've heard people say that it's a very risque figure. I don't know. But she's super cute. I had to have it. It's a super cute pose. It's like the best pose I can do. There. It's perfect. And she's not from Fate. Move your finger. I think I actually still have a video up for it. It's like a really old, stupid video. 1 second won't hurt. If I get demonetized, then make sure to support me on Patreon. That's as far as I'll go. Clip it? No, don't clip it. No clipping. She's super cute, though. I love Hineko. Hineko's great. The apple is a nice touch, yeah. And it's actually magnetized. I don't know why. I guess to make it to where it doesn't fall off. But yeah, it's magnetized. She apparently has... Either the apple has magnet in it and her head is made of steel and she has a plate, or the opposite. Who knows? I read a manga with the for Oji, but it sadly stops at the same point as the anime. Yes, it's Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat, or Hineko. Renchsaka is a rare appearance in figures, and that's what I mean. Like, they had that the Unlimited Blade Works release of let me see if I can find it. This figure is amazing, and I was waiting for forever for them to reprint it. No, that's not it. This one. I wanted this one for the longest time. This is legit like the Holy Grail. No pun intended. This figure is absolutely amazing. And they reprinted like every Saber, Good Smile Company Saber, but they never reprinted this one. They did the reprint once, I think, but I missed it. But yeah, I wanted this one for the longest time.
Hot take, Nasuverse is better than MCU. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I got tired of the MCU stuff a long time ago. Read the manga for... Oh, you said that already. What did you think of Fate Heaven's film movies? I've watched 2 of them. I haven't watched the last one. Because every time I go to rewatch... When I finally got 3, I wanted to watch the other 2 before I watched 3, and I haven't got a chance to watch the other 2, so... And let me show you a leaner. Let me show you... Let me show you a leaner. I got a leaner. I think I talked about this once, too. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Here is my leaner. There. It's a gorgeous figure, by the way. Yukine is a hero. Amazing figure. I could not have asked for more. Absolutely gorgeous pose. But... see one big problem. That's a lot of weight. That is a lot of weight. And so, let me see if I can do this right. There. You can see it. That is too much. Yeah, gravity wins. That is way too much weight for them poor little legs. So she has, unfortunately, over time, she has become a leaner. Now, I think it's mostly in the pegs. She got like this. Everything's a JoJo reference. But yeah, it's one of those things, and this is the same thing for, honestly, with that Eris figure. Simply, all you got to do is when you put it into a case, put it near a wall. Problem solved. If you have it at its print point and you put it with a wall behind it, it will never get a leaning problem because you have at least all that weight will go against a wall and that'll solve your problem. And Eris will never lean. I had to do that with, oh yeah. Shoot. Let's see if I can actually get this out of here. Now we're getting crazy. Now we'll get crazy. Busting out all the cases. Now, I'm not going to take it out, but I mentioned it, so I'll show it. That's the Deep Sea Miku. I'm not taking her out of this. It's a football case. But that's easily one of my favorites. Oh. Oof. Miku. Miku, you heavy. Miku, you heavy. Oh my gosh. This is a bad idea. Bad idea. Okay. Success. Success. This one I kind of assume would become a leaner. So I propped this one on a wall. And that is from Rage of Bahamut, I believe. There's a long hair version of it, and there's a twin tail version. This is the twin tail version. So it's great. Spam. But yeah, again, similar. If you think about it, pretty much all the weight is on the front of her ankle. And so you have, this is the center point. So anything back from here is weight. So I've always had this figure on the corner of a Detolf supporting the wings so that she never technically wings. So she's never had a lean problem. But yeah, it's super huge. It's like, that's my hand. That's my hand right there. And I got big hands. And she's huge. So yeah, that's I have no clue who she is. But I seen the long hair version of it and I loved it, the look of it. And so I got the twin tail version. Which, hey, twin tail wins, right?
So here's the room tour. Room tour has begun. What was the other one that I was saying? Oh. Let's do this. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Don't drop stuff. Don't drop stuff. Yeah. And that's the Ranger Murata one I was talking about. Yeah, 10K subs, I'll look through everything. And obviously the reason why I picked this up is because Ranger Murata. And it's like the only good figure that he has of his artwork. And I actually had the book that has this artwork in it. It didn't capture his face style very well, but they captured his actual outfit style very well. And it's a great pose. Because for obvious reasons. It's a very good pose. There's too much lighting. There. That's better. Girl, you shiny. You super shiny, girl. You got some shine going on you. Alright. My best figure. I actually just found my best figure. Hold on a second. My best figure. I found it. Ready? Yeah, the backstory is really good. This is actually my best figure that I have. It's actually my first figure I ever bought. It's a Pikachu. Yeah, I don't know if it works anymore. No, it no longer works. It's Pikachu. That's it. That's all I got, guys. When was this? Is there a year on this thing? Of course, made in China. Pokemon Company. This has to be... Hold on a second. I'm thinking... So... Still in there. It has to be 97-ish. At least 97. Way before 97, actually. I wonder if this phone number still works. I traded a Charizard for this, right? By the way. So that, so that tells you how much. So Charizard, Pokemon just came out, and I got a booster pack, and I got a Charizard. So I traded a Charizard for this. Charizard now is probably worth a fortune. So whenever the Charizard came out, that's when I got that. Because I traded for it. Pikachu. Oh man, a Miku from Eden Deities would be amazing. That would be amazing. Oh yeah, the holo figure. Sorry. I know I seen that. I'm sorry, I seen that. And yes, if you ask me, like, one of the more risque figures that I want to buy, it's that holo figure of her crawling. This is so good. It is so good looking. This is kind of just like the best one that I found that was kind of just very simple design, but really beautiful. And there's only one thing that I don't like about it. It's got a great design. It's very simple. It's so her basic outfit. It's even got the pouch and everything on it with the weed on it. Only thing I don't like is it got the whole, like, we're trying to go for grass thing. It's like that stuff you find at, like, a, I don't know, a putt golf. It's like, really? I don't know what they were thinking with that whole thing. I know that some people are curious, so I will oblige. Yes, there's There's a much more casual version of her. If you like tummies, there's a casual tummy version of her. If you're Casey, you're wondering where it attaches at, there it is. There you go. I'm glad we're discovering new things with this live stream. But no, yeah, like the crawling one is like super good. Super good. Any Monogatari figures? All right. Bonus points for whoever knows what figure, which character. Shut up, Philip. Shut up. Yeah. Big cheers for. Gotta go. Cheers. That's why I picked it up. Take care, Shrap. Bonus points for if somebody can call up what. I have one Monogatari figure. Who would it be? Hanekawa is a good guess. I do like Hanekawa. If anybody says Shinjigahara, kicked. You're kicked. You're kicked from the chat. I can see people guessing Hanekawa. That's a good one. I do want a Shinobu. I would really love a Shinobu. Okay, closest guess has it. The white girl. Yeah. Sergio got it. We'll go with that. The white girl. The white one. Let's go with the white one. I'm not taking all this out of here. These figures were like super hard to get at the time that I started collecting figure. Individuals got it. Best girl. Come at me, bros. Best girls, come at me, bros. Who's gonna fight it? Who's gonna fight it? Best girl. NEC knows where it's at. NEC knows where it's at. She's super cute. I love her. And they did a really good job on it. There is a seam issue. It's a very bad seam issue. It's like it's quartered. I gotta hide behind her just to get the camera off me. They actually quartered her hair, but it actually still looks really good. And the whole snake effect is amazing. Nice bottom. Yeah, the dress kind of does stick with the bottom, doesn't it? You have experienced tastes after all. It comes with a bunch of bottles, but I'm taking the bottles out. Oh. All right, best girl of. Oh damn. Saikano How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Best girl. Who is it? Best girl, come on. Actually, I think I showed this one off on stream already. Utaha. Damn. Megumi's really good, though. Blonde one. There you go. There you go. Eddie Spencer. Eddie Spencer. No, not Kudere. Eddie Spencer. Full tsundere. Come on. This is the one that I showed up on stream when I was playing... Genghis, you were there, right? If Genghis is still here. I think it was when we were playing Genshin Impact. I showed this figure off. It's still clipped on the Twitch channel. And then right when I held this up... what was it? Ganyu was in the background, and she was making like some suggestive noises. And it was like so perfectly timed. But yeah, this is one of my more risque fingers because she's technically changing. So it shows a little bit. But she's super cute. Technically all the girls in Saikano were really good. Yeah, you remember that? It was so perfectly timed because like, don't lewd, and all of a sudden, I didn't know it because I couldn't hear it. I didn't have the headphones on, so everybody's like, oh my gosh, that was inappropriate. I'm like, what are you talking about? What else I want to show off right now? I do not want to take that one out. It's my most expensive one. I can actually take that one out. Alright. I like to set more milestones. So I said 10K subs. I will do a full room tour. 20K subs. If I can get 20K subs in the next... let me make it somewhat doable. If I get 20K subs before June of next year, June of 2023, I will burn this figure. I will burn this figure right here. Not this one. This one stays, but I will burn this figure. Or I'll give it away to somebody if you guys preferred that. I don't want to not get 20K subs because everybody likes this girl. But she'll sit by and watch as this girl burns. This is Romantic Comedy Snafu. And if you watch the series, you know why I want to burn it. I mean, she didn't... I'm perfectly honest. And this is probably why I wouldn't burn it. She did nothing wrong. Like, there was nothing about the... She did nothing wrong in the series. Let me be perfectly clear. So I won't burn her. I'll give her away. She did nothing wrong. It's just I didn't like how the writer treats her. I think the writer just absolutely... He's just absolutely cruel. The last season was not fun to watch. Save the waifus. Okay, so I will burn it. I will burn it if I don't get 20K subs by June of next year. Yes, if I can get 20, I would buy an NSFW figure. Because I'm going to have to start actually... I mean, I eventually have to spend some money in order to, you know, avoid having to pay more taxes than I'm actually making. Anyways, I was going to get this one out. If anybody is curious... Gosh! Dang! Son of a biscuit! My bloody ears! If anybody's curious... Did you guys hear that? Oh... This would be my most expensive figure. Like, it's between this one and the Fook. It's not a hinge. It was literally the base of this on glass. It was hard not to hear it. I'm sorry. She's so freaking heavy, and her base is like hollow plastic. Yeah, that one too. It came in a huge box. Like, you need a storage facility just for the box if you're keeping it. This nails on chalkboard. This thing terrifies me because I feel like it has too many things that I don't know what I need to support for it not to break. Well, it's like 3 layers of boxes, so I imagine that it came safely, but that's good. That's good to hear. But yeah, she's... And I was gonna get the second one, but I did not. Because they did a clear card hen one too, and I wanted to get it. Hold on, let me find a surface to scratch this on. Oh, I didn't do it. It didn't do it. Is that all I want to show off? Yeah, I think so. I think I've disheveled my room enough for one day. Unless somebody has like a specific idea for a show. But yeah, pretty much over here behind the camera is pretty much all Fate stuff. This one is pretty... The one on the right here that's off camera, it's pretty much like what I've shown off, and then we have Tenchi from, I want to say Little Busters, Angel Beats. There's a Miku shelf, Hatsune Miku shelf. Has Roy Mercury on it. K-On. There's some Kankali. Mashu, which I want to get out, but she's too huge. Jeanne d'Arc. Some Durarara figures down at the bottom. I have like a lot of Kankali, which is weird. Then mostly up here is like ones that you guys can see, which is like Ram and Ram. Some Madoka ones too. Yeah, I do have a Jean one. It was the Good Smile Company one with the big gigantic flag. That's a pain in the butt to find somewhere to go. I don't have any Astolfo figures. I almost got one. Alright, take care, Mokana. Thanks for dropping by. What's my favorite blue-haired figure? I don't know. Like I said, I technically do have that blue-haired Deep Sea Miku. Oh. Yes, I grab figures by the head of them. It makes it easier. Oof. Oof, oof. It's not actually this one, but this one's probably my biggest one. This is like my biggest figure overall. Bunny outfit Ram, because Andrew obviously likes Ram. Ugh. I didn't realize that her bust was that big until I actually got this thing. I'm like, wow, you actually have kind of stacked. It's cute. You kind of thought it was Bulma. Oh, I'm gonna want to burn this one now. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta burn this figure because it's Bulma. But no, it's actually my favorite. My favorite Ram. My favorite Ram. And that is the... What is it? The lingerie bikini one? The bikini wedding one or something like that? Cute. Got it. It looks like they pulled off the face and everything. They really did. Oh, watch out, microphone. Everybody's gonna scream about me bumping mics. I understand I would buy a Bunny Girl Eyes if I could. There's like... That's like a whole lineup. Like, they legit make... They take that same... It's almost like they take that same mold and they make all of their figures for that series with that same mold. Because I swear, if I look at any of those, they all look the same. So I can find it on here. Because I think they list them on... Playboy Has a Legacy. Let me see. Yeah, they did Team Romantic Comedy Snafu. But I think that's a different brand. No, that's a different brand. Did they not on Good Smile? I thought they were on Good Smile. They have Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring ones? I did not know that. Is it not on Good Smile? I feel like some of these figures are dangerous to look at. This is a Remedy one? I think I remember seeing that. Why not, I guess? Yeah, I was tempted to get the Ram one too. But I'm like, nah, it's just it's a bit too much. They're kind of pricey. I think I got mine for like I think it was like 160. They're super pricey. But I liked Rem, so I had to get it at the time, and I had the disposable income at the time. Raphtalia had one too. But these are nice. The ones that are actually they're
They're 1/4 scale, which are super huge. But because they're, like, not standing up straight, they don't take up a massive amount of space. She looks super thick, by the way. Is that just me? Why does she look so thick? Oh my gosh, I just realized that. Like I said, I think they use the same mold for everything. Like, alright, we need to make a Raftili one. I just use that other girl's design and we'll just stick the head on there. They add a little bit of dimension. Girl got super thick. She's grown up. She's definitely grown up. That's all. That's all. Raftili. You say they screwed up, but did they screw up? She just spends days doing squats. I'm not clicking on the Shiro one. Wasn't there a Mega Man one? I guess they've done different design for each one of them. But they were all pretty much the same. These aren't the same. These are like different brands. Oh gosh, is Yu Yu Gahama one? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. Damn. 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 I don't want to look at these stinking figures no more. They did a Ryoko one? As a Megami. And a Spencer. And a Spencer. Oh, and she's correcting it too. That's a nice little added. That's a nice added. Alright, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I hate looking at figures. I hate looking at figures. Yeah, like I said, I had a point where I got 3D TOFs, technically 4. Pretty much filled them all, and then I've not bought a figure since then. The only figure that I've gotten since then was the one that my brother got me, which is that girl from Fire Force. Best girl. Check the Utaha one too. I just said I wanted to get away from it. No, I can't reopen closed tab for some reason, so I guess I can't. No, I can't go back, sorry. But no, I filled up those 3 DTOFs, ran out of space, and I'm like, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. You legit seen it on the screen. You cannot see that? Oh, it doesn't show up on your screen. I thought it shows up. Oh, I can. Never mind. I'm sorry. I lied. Stop giving me... You're gonna say... Alt F4. Which one? Which one? Jubilee? That was on the last page. I thought about clicking on it. Yeah, that's definitely her. That's definitely her. It's just all out. It's all just hanging out there. A Hibana one? Which one's Hibana? No, not last one. Stop. Stop. Hibana. Am I missing it? Oh my gosh, they made the mom one. Oh gosh. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with the girl. The show sucked, but there was nothing wrong with her. Like a rant. Well, who the hell is this? Who was Chio? Is that the same show? Oh, it's another work from the author. I was like, who the hell is that? I don't see a Hibana. Here, let me search Hibana. Reptilia figure was thicker than the mom figure, right? Are you talking about Tachibana? I already have a figure of her, though. Yeah, I don't see Hibana. Oh, Hibana from Fire Force. Okay. Did you see her? I didn't think I seen her. Belly represent. Yeah, the one that I got wasn't really much belly representation. This is like one of the oldest figures of her, too. And there was like a massive controversy around this figure, too. Oh, it's very heavy on one side. Very heavy on one side. Look at him. Yeah. There was like a big, huge, massive controversy around her because they I guess they expected her to be a cast-off. I don't know, somebody seen this and said this is obvious a cast-off. And there's like a group of people that actually figured it out. They figured out how to cast. I mean, it's easy to figure out how to make it a cast-off, but it's obviously not designed to be a cast-off. It's a very translucent dress, so you obviously get the idea there. But yeah, I guess if you don't mind them, you know, certain things not being there, it can be a cast-off. Yeah, I do like the Fire Force eye. I mean, that's the rider. Like Soul Eater was the same way. Soul Eater had that same effect. Let me see. Yeah, there's like nothing for her. Nope. Yeah, they have like nothing. They have like nothing Hibana on here. The only thing that's really, well, no. Yeah, that's all Hibana. Like all their Fire Force stuff is like legit just Shinra and stuff. The artists of the characters make hentai. Misaki from Railgun. A bunny version? I see her right there. Oh, there it is. They got any Mushishi figures of like Ginkgo? I think there was one. Dang, this girl is like... I think this is like the most I know what I'm doing bunny version I have ever seen. Like legit. This girl is in charge. I like that side. Like all the bunny figures are either like overly positioned or they're embarrassed. This girl's just like whatever. It's just girls like whatever. I actually picked her up on Crossing Void just before I stopped playing and then they shut down the servers. She was a weird character in that game. God, there's so many Eddie Spencers. I'm gonna click on this one. I might get in trouble. Jeez. That one actually reminds me of... Is anybody ran into the... They had a Fate set that was like a bunch of the Fate Saber faces, and they were all in different lingerie on this like display case. It was like insanely expensive. What was the price on that thing? I forget what the price of it was. Yeah, there it is right there. It's on Amazon, so take that for what it is, but holy crap, dude. This thing, yeah, I think it was around $500 for all of them. This is probably totally not even licensed. This one's probably not even licensed version. But I remember I spent like 3 weeks contemplating this set. Yeah, and it came with this little like display case. There was even like a rotating, yeah, it had a light on it. My gosh, dude. It's like the ultimate saber face setup right there. Do you like saber face? Yeah. Mononoke, the... I don't think I've seen any Mononoke figures. But I mean, like, right, I know what you're talking about. Mononoke, not Princess Mononoke. Yeah. It's like a very artsy show. I've never watched it. Who got me into Vinland Saga? What studio? I actually was going to buy the manga for the longest time, and then the anime got announced, so I went ahead with that. Shoot. Search. Ginkgo? When I said saber face, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy Tarzer face. And I can't stop laughing. That, whatever that is, looks terrible. Yeah, my figure collection only has, like, what, 3 of them? That one looks good. That one's alright. That looks like a... Yeah, that looks like one of the dolls. That one looks terrible. That's a draft. Wonder if the figure's missing an eye. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, unless it's like either like a big name shonen male character or it's a female character, they don't put much effort in these poor figures. They honestly just don't put much effort in these poor figures. If it's not like a mainline or a hot girl, it's like, this actually came with a bunch of stuff. Wow. It's kind of like his box, sort of, and then a bunch of notes, probably of the Mushi. Looks all right. I mean, it's not the greatest detail, but it looks good. That's the one you wanted? I mean, it's kind of slim pickings for this guy, unfortunately, and that one looks really good. This one looks like they actually have real cloth. Yeah, this is actually a jointed figure. The box looks really good. Yeah, it's like a Figma doll. Actually looks good. Actually looks really good. I'm excited for December. Yes. For one reason. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Blu-ray. I was looking for the... Oh, yeah, and by the way, New Year's Karu on Princess Connect Redive on Saturday. That actually looks good, too, though. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't necessarily like the dolls, but if the clothing is that loosely fitting, it actually look really good. This... What happened to his legs? Is this like a source material spoiler? That's not a source material spoiler, is there? That he loses his legs? And he can never travel again? It's obviously a bust. No, there's nothing in the source material like that. Yeah, his face looks a little off. He looks more like, I don't know, conniving. And he's never like that. Yeah, that's a no on the face department. The Wario guy got him. What happened if he didn't save the child from the abusive cabinet? That one's cute. Was it Good Smile that had that one holo figure? This one I have to actually be careful about on YouTube. I kind of wanted the one that they had. Yeah, that's that recent one. Gosh, they have so many good holo figures now. Oh, they were supposed to go on this tab. Hey, computer. Work with me here. There's so many good holo figures now. Like, I would buy all of these. But this is the one I was talking about. God, these look so good. Oh, it's got a peg. See, they knew. They knew this would be a leaner. They knew this sucker would be a leaner. But that looks so good. Yeah, they knew it was gonna be a leaner, so they put a peg. Looks beautiful though. Looks so lively. She's always touching grass. She doesn't need to be told to touch grass. Except for on this one. She's not touching grass. It's a little... Oh gosh, the hair, dude. The hair. The connection point for the tail looks a little weird, though. I'm not gonna lie. The connection for the tail, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks a little bit weird. But dang, the hair. Like, the very top. What would you call it? It's an interweaved hairline. I don't remember what they call it. How it's got like a crisscross effect to it. Looks great. She looks like she's from the Entertainment District Guards. Peg's keeping that bottom up. This one looks cute too. Jeez, they just went crazy with her figures. Maybe I got out of figures at the right time, because I would probably have all of these. Jeez. That's a bad seam line. Holy crap. What company is this? Belfine? I have no clue who Belfine is. If you're listening, Belfine, fix your... See, that side's not bad. That looks like a fabric seam line. We just got a bad angle of it. Anyways. Never too late to go back. If I have the money for it. I need a geese lane from Mushoku Tensei figure. I don't think I've seen one yet. But yeah, this is the one I want. And it's a 1/4 scale. So that's the size of that Rem one I showed earlier. That is massive. That's like that. She's massive. Anyways. Get off that page before YouTube gets mad at me. I didn't get into it earlier, but technically right now I kind of like this one. I just think they pulled off the face like so well. Shoot, come on. It's like super cute. It looks like Roxy. The outfit's perfect. It's a very recognizable outfit. And there's obviously other reasons why it's good. But I think just in general, where's it at? I think it was this one. This one's the best one of just pure Roxy, I believe. It's a really good one. Like, they pulled off the face, they pulled off the style, the outfit, the pose. There's extra options for it. Like, this is, like, I think the ultimate figure out of all of them. And Fat Company does a good job. This one as a leaner. It could, yes. But thankfully, it's like, with something like this, see, you can technically offset a little bit. That briefcase has got to have something to set it on. I'm trying to get a better picture here. That's probably the best picture you have. So probably center point right there. It's a little heavy on one side, yeah. I would definitely put it up against something. I would put it on the wall with this bumping into it. But again, you could technically take the cloak off, and it would probably not have that big of a problem with leaning. I just think most of these shots are trying to show it from a dynamic angle, which is trying to make it look more leaning than it is. Yeah, that briefcase has got to have a stand. There's got to be a stand for the briefcase. I'm sure they probably send a stand with it. But yeah, this is like this is my favorite Roxy so far. If I had to buy one, I'd probably buy this one. But like I said, I am waiting to find out about the... Do they even have pre-orders for the other one yet? This one's a good one too. It's very simple. The face is a little off. They don't have pre-orders for the swimsuit one yet? All we need left is Sylphie, Fitz, and Nanahoshi. Next season. Next season I can probably see a lot of those starting to drop. I'm just surprised we haven't got a Ghislaine yet. Ghislaine is the surprising one that we haven't gotten yet. And Rejeurd? Where's best boy Rejeurd? Rejeurd don't get a figure? Did I receive any messages from Crunchyroll being a judge for 2023? No. That's why I made a whole video a couple of days ago about my predictions of Crunchyroll and where it could possibly not have judges. It's possibly they don't have judges this year. Is reserved with Norn. That would be cute. Holy crap, that would be so cute. Have Reserve, okay. Norn standing up straight. Hands out, kind of like in a almost V angle. Like she's kind of excited. Looking cute. Looking up towards Rejeurd. Rejeurd leaning over, hand patting her head, and then an apple in the other hand. So the scene from when they first meet, from the light novel that was skipped in the anime. I would love to see that figure. That would be super cute. Because it would capture Rejeurd. Like, that's everything about Rejeurd. And then it would just have Nora in the picture with it, looking super cute. That would be a perfect figure. Yeah, like a super, like, crazy action pose attack Rejeurd with the green hair would be cool, too. And be like $400. It's the cute tax. You gotta cute tax it. But no, he would be bald because he would have been in Milshin. 100% shocked that they didn't have a Ghislaine or Reserved figure. Yeah, I agree. Ghislaine is a huge miss. But again, unless you're like one of the main heroines or your main character of a... Because like we don't have a Reserved figure or a Rudius figure. Like nobody's even questioning it because we're just used to it. There's no Rudius figures. Is there? Oh, dang. Hi, this one's another good one. I actually like this one, too. Anyways. I'm actually, I should not be in this area because I'm afraid I'm going to see that new cover art that everybody says to not see. But no, there's no Rudius. That's crazy. What's the most amount you spent on a figure? Like I mentioned earlier, the either the Cardcaptor Sakura one or the Fook Saber Alter is my most expensive one. So it's between those two, whichever one was most expensive. Let's see. Ami. No. Ami. How much was a Cardcaptor Sakura one? I want to say that I got that one from Good Smile, and I think it was a little bit cheaper. Damn it. They could make it a paperweight? For what? Figure Edis better than Roxy figure right now? Yeah, that bikini one is like easily the best one for the Edis ones. Here it is right here. Come on, Good Smile Company, load. And it was... There it is. So it was 250-ish. I don't remember what the exchange rate was at the time. It was probably 230. And then the shipping was... No, I think what it was... Yeah. If you bought it through Ami, it was like 200 with Ami. But if you bought it through Good Smile Company, they shipped it for free. And yes, a box that's like literally was massive. The box was massive. It was much cheaper to pay the little extra and have Good Smile ship it for free. So this was about $250 for this figure. Let's see what Hook figure was. And I think that was the same case with the Hook figure. Saber. They do Fook or Hook? They do Hook. Oh, so it was Cardcaptor Sakura. Because this one was 220. Maybe this wasn't free shipping. So maybe this ended up being more expensive just by shipping. So yeah, this one won. That one was the most expensive. Hey, so I've heard rumor Fire Force Season 3 confirmed and was wondering if you know it was because I heard it through like Twitter, so I wasn't sure if it was true. I have not heard about a Fire Force Season 3. I do think that there was a rumor going around, but I don't think it's... Is it been confirmed? Cosmoke says true. It's on Mal now? Okay, so apparently it is confirmed. Cosmoke says yes. Cosmoke says... Mal says yes. I think it's true, but I don't remember. I mean, I was expecting it. I think it is true because I think at some point we talked about it. I want to say we talked about it on the podcast and I said I was going to get caught up on the series. Alright, NEC, take care, man. Appreciate you dropping by. I don't know if you like being called NEC or Northly Clue. I'm sorry. I should have asked if you like to be called Northly Clue or NEC or Earthly. Mal might be a liar. It could be. Ellen, I'll say that Elf MILF is also a good one. I don't... I don't think there'll ever be an LNLC. If there is an LNLC one at some point, it might end up being a garage kit. Because you usually always find a garage kit of everything. Yeah, depending on how soon Fire Force Season 3 comes out, I'm going to have to start breaking through the third season. Because like I said, I got like halfway through it. What do you think of the Alien Explode, or Alien episode, Mob Psycho? It was trippy. I'm like 2 episodes behind, so I don't know. I'll give my opinion as soon as I can actually watch it. I'm actually behind on quite a few shows this week, because like yesterday I was out of power for a while, and like all this crap happening with AMC, Disney have been pretty much keeping me busy. So it's probably gonna be tonight. I need to finish up Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Chapter 4 question mark. I need to finish this recent chapter of Mushoku. I need to record my video tomorrow. Because I waited way too long last week. I was literally at the last minute getting that premiere put up last week. What about the elf from Reincarnate as a sword? I haven't met the elf, apparently. The last episode I watched of that, they were making the curry. I'd heard Truck-kun got a role in Mob Psycho. I did see that. I did see Truck-kun. Dude, if Mob Psycho goes total Truck-kun and just runs with that, that'd be great. Have you seen those anime mashup videos where they have 200 plus songs from the year and put them all together? Like in sequence or on top of each other? Dude, there's gotta be a Fran figure already. Is there no Fran figures yet? Dude, if they don't bank on Fran figures, somebody should be fired. Yeah, there's an Android. And it's super cute. Dude, I missed out on some good mall scrolls of her. Holy crap. Of course there's body pillows already. Of course there's body pillows already of Fran. Of course there's body pillows of Fran already. Good job, Japan. Actually look really good. That looks really good. God, why do they close these orders so quickly? It's like they do pre-orders and they just like, okay, we're done. We're not stocking any of this stuff. Yeah, that's all they have for figures is an Android. Yeah, they need a body pillow sword, Papa. She actually looks really cute as an Android. I got kind of sick out of Nindroids at some point, but she definitely looks super cute. Dude! And you can reenact the demon fight. Because the Nindroids, their hands come off so easily, you can totally reenact the demon fight. Is that not funny? I thought it was funny. Anyways. On sequence and top of it, it all makes sense. The music is actually good and shows all the shows. And they don't get striked. Do you have Yomi-chan installed for when you are on Japanese websites? No, I don't. I meant to do that because when we were talking to Peter, Peter of J-List, he was talking about it. I think Chris ended up picking it up. Said it worked actually really good. But no, I usually just use Google Translate because I haven't got a chance to put that together yet. Oh, wow, Amazon lost Vinland Saga. I don't think they lost it. I think they just didn't want to renew it. And I think Sentai picked it up, right? Does a Mishoko novel have any pictures in it? Yes, typically typically 2 on each volume. There's a bunch of pictures at the beginning of it. Arf, 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 arf. Typically at the beginning of it, they have a lot of illustrations, just to kind of show the key points in the series, because I think those are actually the covers or some insert images for each individual chapters. And it kind of just mostly shows you each of the characters and what their designs are. And then, like I said, usually at 2 points in the novel series, like this is the very beginning of it, where he's kicked out of his home. And then there is... This first volume actually has a lot of pictures. But later on, the later novels don't really have many pictures. Him casting his first water ball. I don't know why I'm doing that. And then when Roxy first shows up. So they had like a lot of images for early on. Dinner with Roxy and everybody. And then Roxy, right after he used his first spell and his exam. And then that's the oopsie moment. The oopsie moment with Sylphie. I think that's... Oh, no, there was a point with Paul, I think. Oh, no, that's the oopsie moment with Sylphie. Yeah. Oopsie moment with Sylphie. Yeah, this first volume had a bunch of images. Holy crap. I forgot how many images were in the first volume. That's the family meeting. There's his demands with his father for the fees for his schooling. Ghislaine. Speaking of Ghislaine. And I think that's it. And then at the end, they have a lot of illustrations as well. Sketches and stuff for characters. Hide myself. I always get it backwards when I try to hide myself. But like I said, that's not really the case later on. Let's see, 5. Like I said, it seems like they kind of like slow down. I know, I guess there's some in here. Norm protecting Daddy. This is during Millis, by the way, so if anybody's afraid of stories around the Millis, which is in Season 1. Geese conversation. The hug with the dad. And then him trying to talk to Norm before he left, which the anime skipped. And I think that's it. No, there was the Edis Goblin Slayer slicing up assassins. And then, okay, this is definitely skipped in the anime. So close your eyes for a second if you really don't want to see skip content that they'll probably never get back to. 1, 2, 3. The best picture in this volume. Such a good picture. And that's it. So yeah, that's like what? 5 pictures versus like that first volume had a crap ton. And it felt like volume 6 had like only 1 so far. So sorry. You get me talking about Mashiko. I'm gonna start talking about Mashiko. Andrew the Real Shiz in the show happens in volume 15 onwards. Just a thing to know, or I deleted it. We'll see. We'll see. If it's this good right now, I'm liking it. Skipping cuddles, right? They skip the nuggies. They skip the nugging. What is it? If someone asks you what is being an otaku like, how would you respond? Like the most basic answer anybody would understand is just it's like any other hobby. You have something you enjoy and you enjoy it. Like, the most general sense of an otaku is just a hobbyist. That's what an otaku is. In Japan, an otaku is a hobbyist. Now, it's got a negative connotation, the idea that it's like an obsession. Yeah, like it's like you liking your own sports team. You have your hats, you have your t-shirts, you sit down in front of the TV and you enjoy it together with your friends sometimes. I mean, taking it further than that, yeah, I would... Like, it's easy for me to say in the position I am, this is what I do for a living, so I'm going to indulge in having these figures and stuff, because it's technically a part of my enjoyment. But, like, before I did this for a living, it was just because I enjoyed the stuff. And, like, figures is a way of, like, immortalizing, in a way, a character that I really enjoy. Just like, yes, you get figures of a different football player, Emmitt Smith or something. No, Emmitt Smith is probably not even playing the sports anymore, but back when I used to actually watch sports, it was Emmitt Smith. Deion Sanders and Troy Aikman and stuff. They're all probably dead at this point. I don't know. But no, I think it's a lot to do with just something you enjoy. The way that I explain why I love anime so much and why I enjoy it so much is that it's just storytelling you don't see in the West. Very creative, very thought-provoking, and often boundary-pushing storytelling that I think isn't really found in the West. So that's why I like it. It feels fresh than what you watch in general. Tregman is still commenting? Oh, he's doing commentary. Okay. I think I read that somewhere at some point. Yeah, I was a Cowboys fan, if you didn't guess. That's Boomer League, bro. At least you know it was Cowboys. At least you know it was Cowboys. I was jumping between like 49ers and Cowboys, because like a lot of my family members like 49ers. Western media feels a lot more moderated. Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's pretty much like that's sort of what me and Chris were getting into when we were talking about is anime problematic, is that idea of, because Japan doesn't limit their art, because they don't restrict their art, because yes, a lot of things will push the limits, and yes, a lot of it similar to what the whole Vice video here recently got them banned from Japan was all about. There's a lot of them that go into stuff that you just don't want them to go into. But I do believe there's an element that, because there's no restrictions for a lot of storytelling and the limits for where they can take their art, it does things that, when it's not offending you and doing the things that you don't want to even touch. yes, a lot of the stuff that was in that Vice video, I'm not reading it. But because there's no limits to their artistry, you will get... Everything exists there. This is the point I'm making. Everything exists there. Everything's kind of allowed there. And yes, a lot of it you're not going to like having in the world. Like, you would, if you had it put in front of you, you'd probably burn it. But because all that exists, because there's that freedom, every now and then somebody does something really crazy and thought-provoking. From that rebel, it comes up, and people notice it, because it's not gonna annoy you because it's doing something really inappropriate, but because it kind of came up from that realm of freedom of expression, that it stands out. This shouldn't exist. This is problematic. But damn it, damn if I'm not happy this exists. This talks about things that make you feel uncomfortable. Because I think it's... And it's because it talks about things that are uncomfortable, and it doesn't hide from things, Hello, was it? What's up, Diaz? This is Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Sorry, I'm covering up the title. This talks about... Rudius's mind's terrible. And even in volume 6, he's still talking about things that are kind of like... Okay, do we need to talk about that? I mean, do you need to think about that? But because this man-child... He was a man-child in his previous life. Because this man-child still thinks of very inappropriate things, even 6 volumes in. But at least now in 6 volumes in, he's realizing... Wait. I'm not reacting how I think how I'd normally act. Like, there's somebody sitting next to me, and normally, this would be a turn-on. And I'm not. And he doesn't understand it. Because he was willing to bring that up in volume 1, it's kind of interesting as it progresses, even so far in volume 6. And like I said at the very beginning in this whole discussion, if freedom of expression wasn't allowed, this novel series probably still would have existed, but it wouldn't be so fascinating as it is now, because it is technically somebody who's kind of is an absolute dirtbag in a sense at the very beginning, but he's evolved over time. Shoot. I have so much stuff that would never be allowed in accordance to this story that we're talking about. This wouldn't be allowed. Flowers of Evil would not exist if slight questionable content wasn't allowed. Inside Mari wouldn't be allowed. Like he's questioning himself. Should it exist? It's a boy who's obviously questioning himself. Should it exist? Some people would say no. I guess my point is that, like I said, stuff is always going to push the boundary to the realm of most people saying this shouldn't exist. But because you block certain things that are, even if you say that should no longer exist, you're not going to make it not exist. Like, even if you say this can no longer be sold because it's inappropriate, it will still be drawn. But because they kind of allow all this stuff to kind of exist because it is art, certain things, without those boundaries, the most creative stuff comes out of it. And kind of one of the more interesting things that me and Chris got into a discussion with our podcast episode that I really liked us getting into was even when things deal with subjects that are very taboo and are very uncomfortable, in a lot of cases, because it brings it up, it allows the viewer to understand what is evil. The West does this. They just do it with violence. Because the West, namely in America, we love violence. We love murder. We love violence. It's all over our movies. We love freedom of expression when it comes to people being blown up. We have tons of movies that make millions of dollars because people get blown up, stabbed, shot. We love it. We just don't like anything that is... I'm trying to think of YouTube sensitive words here, even though I said blow up a bunch. The lewds. We don't like the lewds over here, but we like explosions. What does our Western media teach you? It teaches you it's wrong to kill people. It's wrong to kill people when they die. Explosions are fun, but we don't like them when they kill characters we like. So we learn about what killing is bad. But we never learn anything else. We don't learn the limits of lewdness. We don't learn the limits of interactions with other people. We just learn the limits of explosions and stabbings. And I think what you kind of learn from with the freedom of expressions and all boundaries is the limits to where we can go with everything. Higehiro is a great example of the boundaries of that. It's a taboo subject. It shouldn't be allowed to exist. You shouldn't talk about it. It's a guy doing something he should not do. It's against the law in Japan. But Higehiro teaches a very important question. Despite the limitations of the laws of my land, I will not let this girl put herself in danger. And despite the fact that she believes that she needs to pay me with her body, I will not do it because I just don't want her to be out there. And she has no other choice because her mother despises her existence. It teaches you, despite it being taboo, it being inappropriate, and yes, that she is highly attractive, he will not do it. And he will break the taboo to save her. It, again, shouldn't be allowed, but it's an incredibly compelling story. And something that would not be wrote if that stuff was, if questionable stuff like that could not exist. There's so many stories that I have read and watched that normal people would probably say should not exist. And I watch it and read it anyways because in a lot of cases, the writer is doing it for a reason and it's not just for titillation. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Freedom of expression, it's artistic expression. Yes, pretty much both. The West doesn't like sexual expression. East doesn't like violent expression. Yes, that is exactly true. That is very true. I mean, and we're really open about drugs, and they are not. Yeah, anime has a lot of violence. I think the big no-no over there is really drugs. It seems like they really don't like drugs. Like, from what I understand, I'm Standing on a Million Lives. The second season veered off to a different choice the characters made than in the source material, which they ended up making a light novel out of it. And the choice in the source material was actually related to do with drugs. And I think they insinuated that they changed an anime original the second half because of that. I might be wrong, but I think that's what I read. And that would make perfect sense because they really don't like how often do you see any sort of drugs in anime? You just don't see it. Like, as many Yakuza stuff that I've watched, you never see it. Like, you would think the Yakuza would be just like flinging the stuff left and right. They just don't. It is like super bad there. Japan is even pushing the boundaries of ecchi right now. I'll take it. Yeah, that was what I was saying earlier with Ranma 1/2 is like, I don't even know if they would do a remake because as you can see with Rumiko Takahashi's remake of the readaptation of it. Where did my drink go? My mouth is blonde. Urusei Yatsura is like, there's nothing showing in that show. And so I don't even know if they would do Ranma. Unless they just a bunch of clouds around him all the time. But yeah, Japan does have Higurashi when they cry. Andrew, there's also one light novel named J.K. Haru is a sex worker in another world. I've heard about that. Didn't they get an announcement for a season adaptation of that? Or was that a rumor? I think I heard about that when Harriman and Labyrinth Another World got adapted. Oh, they have a manga version of it? I might check it out. I've heard it's actually pretty interesting. I thought it was actually rare in media after 2000. In Western media or Japan? Because they love it in Japan. Not like the West and censored. That's another thing. Like, cigs and alcohol, rarely see it in Western media, but it is still, especially alcohol, is like really big in Japanese media. They love the drunk girl. Hence the recent episode of Chainsaw Man. Like the West, it's censored. If it's too bloody, I've seen it anime a bunch of times. Violence, bombastic, and it's vanilla in the West. Yeah, it's like when Japan gets it, it's gory. But then we, of course, have things like Saw and stuff over here. Japan has a hentai problem. Pretty much. But, I mean, the West has tons of adult stuff. It's just not as broadcast. I mean, it's not broadcast in Japan either. It's just that, you know, I think the West has just as much of a prawn issue as Japan, more so. Salvation, can I get an amen? It's Bible Black. You've read it? It's actually pretty good. I might check it out. I need somebody to send me the title in Discord or something. I'll probably check it out later. Has a twist later on. Nice. Think you're a little bit behind on the stream? Maybe. I just read it. I usually have to sometimes scroll up to get some missed chats. You'll take hentai over guns any day. Take having a hentai problem over a gun problem. The world has a lot of problems. I would say one of the biggest problems is probably human trafficking. I think that's, if you ask me, like, if I had one thing that I could get rid of, it would be that. I think that's the biggest problem that we have in the world right now that I would love to get rid of. But yeah, that's if I become Mr. America at some point in time. Anyways, I somehow managed to stick with the stream for way longer than I thought I would. I literally thought that I would stream for like an hour and then like croak out. But no, I'm gonna call it. I want to remind people, like I said earlier, I will be doing I just realized I have like a black bar at the top of my screen this whole time, and nobody told me about it. Why did nobody tell me about the black bar at the top of my screen this whole time? Look at there. Now you can see more Blu-rays. We went from talking about anime figures to the world's darkest problems. Good. Good. I love tangents. I love tangents. It's 5:38 here. It started at 1. It hasn't been that long. It's been 3 hours. Yeah, it's been 3 hours. You didn't even notice the bar? You guys need to pay attention more. Yeah, that's where the YouTube notifications and stuff was at, but I got rid of them because, or the Twitch notifications, but I'm on here, so I didn't want to have the Twitch notification stuff up there. Let me see. Is it gone? Oh, they're just not active. Okay. There. Wait, well, hold on a second. There's one problem over here. Hold on a second. No. There she is. Hold on a second. Copy. And that was the other thing that nobody told me about. Let's see. Paste. There you go. Yeah, that one's important too. Speech on. Speech on in the corner. Anyways, like I was saying, reminder, next week, same time, we'll be on Twitch. I will be doing my, putting together my outline for my preview for the winter 2023 season. So if you're interested in what's coming up for the winter season, you can join us. We'll just kind of chat while we pick apart all the information that we can get from each show. It depends on what you want. We're going to look at trailers. We're going to look at who's working on things. Sometimes it gets way into the weeds about who's working behind the scenes on a project. Some people really like that stuff, but it's a nice little hangout. It's a lot of fun. So again, if you are not already, it's twitch.tv/otakuspirited. If you're not already, in the description of this live stream, I have a link to their Discord. I will notify people when we have the stream. If you just go to the, what is it called? It's like there's a channel called Rolls, and one of them, you just click on it. It's for community watch along, or stream watchers. I ping that when I go live. So the stream is 4:30 Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays. So just adjust it by that. So essentially 3 hours from now, or 3 hours ago, that's when I start every week. So, but yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. It's usually a lot of fun, but as per usual, I appreciate you guys dropping by. Hope you guys enjoyed basically me destroying my room, and I will now spend the next 30 minutes cleaning and putting everything up. But yeah, unfortunately I have to do it on Twitch because of the trailers. YouTube will strike me, and that sucks, but that's how it is. So anyways, yes, help me get the 10K subs, and I will spend a week forcing myself to finish my room tour. So if you have any friends out there, even if they don't like anime, be like, hey dude, just sub to his channel just for like a month, and then I'll get my video out of him, and then you can just unsub him. That's how it works. Write down my channel on cards, pass them out at Starbucks or something. Also, if you've ever bought... Hold on a second. I'm going to do something else for me to put up. Damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. This is so bad. I have a bag for this. If you've ever bought a Aniplex release, you'll get these stupid postcards. I mean, the art's great, but you'll get these little like postcards. So I know this is like a really long drawn out thing for making a joke. I hope it lands. Just put down like youtube.com/otakuspirit. Put your stamp on there and just mail it to your grandmother and say, hi, just here with my waifu. Please follow this channel. There you go. We went through these one time. God, that was a really stupid joke, but it was really funny in my head. So, if you ever buy the entire Monogatari series, hold on. You have to find where the hell to put all these. Because that's how many damn postcards they give you. This is how many postcards Aniplex will give you for buying the entire series. And so you have to find somewhere to put all these because they don't fit in the Blu-ray case. So you gotta like, I actually used to have them up on my wall. Anyways, that was a drawn out joke. Is Obachan an otaku? It's time to make her be an otaku. Well, it's like I said, even if people don't care about anime, just be like, "Did you check this out?" And just sign up for like a week, and then he'll make the video, and then he'll go. Anyways, thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you all. Love you guys. Thanks again to Nightmare and Jay-Z Meister for the super chats. Thank you, Drew, for the sub. There we go. There's one. Whose grandma is Drew? Whose grandma is Drew? I appreciate it. But anyways, y'all take care.